Hi, everybody. Welcome in to the Panther Pit in Franklin as we've been observing a very special ceremony here in the pregame honoring the local veterans who have served in the so many wars that the United States of America has been involved in. We've had the special presentation for the veterans, for the color guard, and, of course, the presentation of our national anthem and Toby Burrell. I know that's always a very special ceremony here at Franklin High School, as it is at Swain County High School, as we try to work together with the folks here when we do that at Swain County High School. And it's always a very solemn and very, I think, highly respected presentation when this goes on.
Well, you're right, and I tell you, Gary, it's just like we talked about last week. It just adds to that atmosphere that makes these kind of games so special between these two schools, is the respect they show their communities and vice versa. Honestly, between both communities and the football programs or athletic programs as a whole, it was nice to see both teams stop what they were doing out on the field and show reverence to the veterans of foreign wars that are here tonight, and just a special ceremony before the game.
It really was. We had the presentation of TAPS, the national anthem, and, of course, the color guard ceremony here. And that just, I think, reminds people of how fortunate we are to live in such a great country that we can come out on Friday night and enjoy high school football or whatever the sport is during the season. And thanks to these veterans who have protected our freedom, we're able to do that and enjoy the freedoms that we are living in tonight.
Absolutely. And, we talked about the whole business of atmosphere, and it just really doesn't get any better. We got a good football game coming up after this between the Panthers and the Devils. It's always a good one. They get after each other the old-fashioned way. If folks are a fan of the old Smoky Mountain Conference 2A days, then this is your game right here. This is the one you want to see every year, regardless of where you're from, because they're going to flat get after each other, and some old-school smash-mouth football coming your way.
It is very physical every time we play the Franklin Panthers. I don't expect anything different here tonight. Last year, I think it was a 7-point game. I expect another close game here tonight between these two old foes from the wonderful days of the Smoky Mountain 2A Conference. And talking about wonderful football, let's go back and look at some of the highlights of last week's big win over the Inca Jets. We were on the road. The Maroon Devils had a huge night offensively, and let's go with Taylor Holt and look at some of those highlights from last week here on the Maroon Devils Network.
In their third game of the 2019 season, our Maroon Devils traveled to Inca to face the Jets. It had been over a decade since these teams have faced off, and this was the first time in Inca's new stadium. As always, our fans traveled to fill the visitor stands to cheer on our team. In the first quarter, the Devils had a rocky start. On their first drive, Swain started with a 15-yard penalty and then fumbled after 3 offensive plays. With a mission to get the ball back, the Maroon Devil defense, which was strong all night, forced Inca into a 3-and-out. Following the punt, the Maroon Devil offense went to work, putting together an 8-play, 69-yard drive.
This time it's going to be Bryce to the right side. Breaks into the secondary, and he has one man to beat, but they caught him from behind. This time it's going to be, again, right up the gut, right down to about the 10-yard line. Should be another Maroon Devil first down.
Ian Brooks punched it in from 1 yard out to put Swain on the board. The Devil D broke the Jets' hearts on the next series. Inca used 12 plays to drive deep into Maroon Devil territory. Swain's Connor Hyatt made a key interception on the Devils' 11-yard line. Hyatt raced all the way to the Jet 4-yard line before he was tackled.
Down inside the 5-yard line, but what a return by Connor Hyatt, who had a big play last week as well.
Damian Lossie scored on the next play to give Swain a 12-0 lead.
Touchdown, Maroon Devils. Damian just followed that offensive line, and they just knocked the defense off the ball on that play. Just straight-ahead power football.
Swain's final score of the half came on a nifty reverse play, with Donovan Gronwald taking it 32 yards for the score.
Around the left side this time, it's going to be Donovan Gronwald, and he's going to score all the way. It looks like Gronwald is going to be in the end zone, Toby.
In the second half, the Maroon Devils added 3 more touchdowns, all on runs by Sane and Carson Taylor.
This time the handoff to the left side, and did he get in? There's a signal touchdown. Yes, Maroon Devils, and it looked like Bryce Sane this time.
The Maroon Devils outgained Anka 338 yards to 156 for the game, with 238 of those yards coming on the ground.
Kind of a busted play almost, but Bryce Sane around the left side has a blocker, and he directs his man, and he's got a first down. A busted play. Connor Hyatt out there blocking for him.
Bryce Sane paced the Devils with 81 yards on 16 carries.
Bryce Sane pops it outside for the Devil offense. One man to beat, turns the corner, and he's going to be caught from behind over there.
Carson Taylor added 44 yards on 8 carries, while Damian Lossy finished with 35 yards on 10 carries. Lossy also went 5 of 11 through the air for 100 yards.
Damian Lossy rolling, left side, has time, now reverses field. He gets a block, now turns upfield, fires downfield, got his man at the 39-yard line. Out of bounds over there is going to be the tight end, Jake Langston.
Jake Langston had a pair of catches for 37 yards. Maroon Devils special teams play was also dominant, causing turnovers during kickoffs.
The punt is going to be blocked over there, picking it up and blocking it. Charlie Lambert, the guy on the scene. Lambert came in and blocked it.
Charlie Lambert blocked a punt, and Robert Green picked up a nice fumble recovery off of a short kickoff. Both plays set the Devils up for touchdowns. The Maroon Devils dominated the game on both sides of the ball as they defeated the Jets 44-14, putting the Devils at 3-0. The last time the Devils had a 3-0 start was back in 2014.
3-0 starts are always nice, as you know, being a head coach yourself, Toby Burrell. Always good to have that big 0 in the loss column.
Well, we talked about it last week, how much of a difference it makes in terms of your playoff seeding and whether or not you're going to be at home or on the road in the playoffs. And it means the world in that scenario as to whether or not basically your non-conference play is equivalent to how many home games you're going to get. It's what it boils down to in the end. But the more important thing is Maroon Devils playing good football. They're a little sloppy last week in Inca, and we'll see how they respond to that. A little adversity coming their way. Should have been an interesting week of practice. I know we got Taylor coming up in a minute with a talk with Coach Neil Blankenship. It'll be interesting to see what his take is on some of last week's play. We saw an uncharacteristic, unsportsmanlike penalty that cost the Maroon Devils one of those drives. We saw an uncharacteristic fumble that cost the Maroon Devils a drive as well. So those things will be things I'm sure that Coach Blankenship and his staff addressed this week, especially early on in the week. Try and get those things ironed out because it's certainly mistakes you can't have in a game against Franklin.
Oh, no doubt. Every week gets tougher, and tonight is no exception. Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back after this 2-minute break, and we'll hear from Coach Blankenship and talk more Maroon Devil football. Stay with us here on the Maroon Devils Network.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Back live on the pregame show, and tonight's activity here on the Maroon Devils Network brought to you courtesy of Bryson City Outdoors, who do such a fabulous job supporting a lot of activity around Swain County and Western North Carolina, Toby Burrell, and we appreciate their sponsorship of our broadcast tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly much appreciated from our end, and hopefully those folks are having a watch party down there. I hope they've got us tuned in watching Maroon Devil football down from Bryson City Outdoors. Great place to hang out. Good folks down there, and we appreciate what they do for our school and our community as a whole. And it's just great to be able to have the Bryson City Outdoors sponsor us tonight. There's a little bit of charge over here in Franklin. They took care of that for us graciously, and so we're coming your way courtesy of Bryson City Outdoors tonight.
Hey, a big thank you to Bryson City Outdoors. And we were talking about the Inca Jets last week and the big win for the Maroon Devils. And, of course, Taylor Holt had a chance to sit down and talk Maroon Devil football with head coach Neil Blankenship. And here's what Coach Blankenship had to say about last week's game and, of course, tonight's contest with the Franklin Panthers.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. I'm here with head coach Neil Blankenship. And, Coach, congratulations on another early win. This makes it 3-0. What can you tell us about the team's performance up to this point?
Well, it was a good road win. Anytime you went on the road, it's a good win. And we went over to Inca and faced a different type of team. You know, they had some great athletes, and they tried to do some things different to us against our offense. And so I was real pleased the way we adjusted to what they had done to us, trying to slow us down. Our kids adjusted well the second half. We came out, we got ahead, and I felt like we had a little lull there right before the half where we could have got another score. But our kids came back the second half, and D played real good, got us a turnover punt. Special teams got us a turnover. So, I was real pleased that any road win is good. You always find out some things you need to work on, but the kids played well on the road and got us another win, so we're 3-0.
Okay, so special teams played a large part in the win with a blocked punt and a kickoff fumble recovery. Can you talk about some of the goods and the bads that were with this special team?
Well, the special teams have been a big part all season. Against Smoky Mountain, I feel like our special teams performed well. And then last week against Inca, we blocked a punt. We've been working on blocking punts and working on putting a block punt in and there. So that was a big thing for us. I'd like for them to scoop it and score it, but we scooped it at least and got tackled down there and got our O in position to score. And I thought that was a big play in sealing the game towards the end as our kids kind of put an exclamation point on that. The kickoff, we always try to place our kickoffs in different areas, and our kicker blooped one a little short and had a tough time handling it. Robert Green did a good job of coming up with a fumble recovery there. So those are big plays for us in special teams, and special teams always play a big part. They'll play a big part this Friday night. The bad was, our extra points, we weren't real consistent with those. We came off performance of Smoky Mountain being 3 for 3 for extra points. We had hit a field goal, so that was 6 points in that ball game. They were big, and then here we struggled. But I think that had a lot to do with the turf, and when you have a block here in the grass, it's a little lower. So we're going to look at some different things when we play on turf next time. He's came back this week. He's had a good week of practice working on those. So I think we'll be back on to par this week at Franklin.
So our offensive and defensive line has been this year. What can you tell us about those plays?
Well, we've had a good off-season one. They've done a great job in the weight room. Some of them have started for us for 2 and 3 years, so having it big. But as a football coach, and you start up front. And if your O-line's good, then you're going to have a decent year on offense. Your D-line's good, then you're going to have a decent year on D. So, it always starts up front. That's what we tell our kids. A lot of times they don't get all the glory and getting the paper for scoring touchdowns, but without them up front, you wouldn't have anything. So I think that started in the spring after last year's season of them getting in the weight room, and then this summer being in the weight room, and they've done a great job with them. Our coach has done a good job getting them ready to go. So we've been real pleased with the way we played up front. They'll have a big challenge this week, and once again, it'll be on them on how well we do.
This week we are traveling to Franklin to face the Panthers. And what can you tell us about Franklin, and how are you planning to pull off this win?
Well, Franklin's the best 0-3 team we've ever played. They've had a tough schedule so far, and they played Asheville early on in the year, and Asheville's so athletic, and they played pretty well against them, but Asheville just out-athletes you, and that's what they do when you play a team like that. Then they lost to Murphy in a close game where they played real well. Then last week against Rabun, once again, they played well, lost to 10, and they had a bunch of great athletes. So, their record does not dictate how good they are. They're a good football team. Coach Brooks, their coaching staff does a great job for them. They're going to play hard. They're going to be well coached. They're going to come to compete. that record is not going to matter to them right now because it's about them getting better. They're starting a lot of young kids, but they are a great football team, and it does not dictate how good they are. It's a tough place to play. That environment is always good. So it's always usually a good football game with them, and it has been through the past year. So it's going to be a tough, hard-fought game for us.
So the atmosphere surrounding the Franklin-Swain series is always one of the best and one that both fan bases really enjoy watching. What can you tell us about what it's like to play in such an atmosphere?
Well, I tell you, Franklin's fans they're always going to support their team. They're always going to have great crowds when they come over here. They have great crowds, so they're always going to do that. We have a great crowd, so the fan base is going to be important there because it kind of goes back to the 2A days when we played them back in those time when it was a conference game, and so it's kind of still treated that way as a conference game. So I think that's a big thing there when you play them. Like I said before, they're well coached. They play the same style ball we do. They're going to run the ball and run it a lot, and they're going to be physical. They're going to be well coached. They're going to do things the right way. So, I think that has a lot to do with it. It's an exciting atmosphere where our kids won't have to create an atmosphere. The atmosphere will already be there for that. And, our kids know how important it is for this game for us as far as playoff seeding. So, I think, this game is always fun for me. It's one it's easy to get up for because you've got to get your kids ready to go or they're going to get blown out because Franklin's going to be ready to go. So, I'm excited about this game, and I can't wait to go over there and play and give our kids the best opportunity we can to win this ball game, and it ought to be a great game. Hope we have a lot of fans there.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
This is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Stay tuned all season long to get all the excitement. Back to you, Gary.
Thanks a lot, Taylor and Coach Neil Blankenship here on the pregame show, brought to you by Bryson City Outdoors. We want to send a shout-out to a couple of our Swain County Athletic Hall of Fame members. Of course, Coach Rod White couldn't be with us tonight, and our thoughts and prayers are with Coach White. His dad has been in the hospital this week, and we hope that is getting better. Also, another Hall of Fame member besides Coach White, Steve Claxton, has been in the hospital this week with some health issues. Saw both those gentlemen just yesterday, Toby, and we hope that they're going to get better in all regards. But they're very special to Swain County High School and our Athletic Hall of Fame, which is going to be coming up here in just a couple of weeks.
Well, they are, and they're also awfully special to the Maroon Devils Network with the work that both of them have put in this network. And to be quite frank with you, I hope they're both watching tonight.
I
hope it gives them some kind of joy to be able to tune in and watch this broadcast. And if it does, then it'll be a trip well made on our part just to bring it to those two, if nobody else.
Yeah, they have been very instrumental in talking about our Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2019. Just to give you a quick heads up, of course, Ryan McMahon, Bobby Robinson, Wendy Treherne Myers, Stephanie Allman Treadway, and one Nat Watson going to be inducted, and that's coming up in just a couple of weeks when we play Cherokee. That's our Hall of Fame game, and of course the induction ceremony is going to be September 26th at 6 o'clock at the Swain County Performing Arts Center, and that's always a special night.
Well, it is, and it's a good night to reminisce and just talk about old times and great performances over the years and honor some of those great performances. It's a wonderful night. I would highly encourage folks, if they've never been a part of that, to come out and check it out because it's well worth it.
Oh, no question about it. Fans, stay tuned. More coming up. Right now, we're going to be looking at a very special project that was actually put together for Bryson City Outdoors, and this was actually done by the East Elementary School students. So let's check in with Bryson City Outdoors and learn more. Fans, we're working on a little technical issue. We've got obviously the video, but we didn't have the audio for our friends at Bryson City Outdoors bringing you tonight's broadcast. But Toby, coming in tonight, as we have said, and we say it every year, these Franklin Panthers are always tough. And to tell you how tough, They've won 6 in a row over our Maroon Devils, and that's one of the longest winning streaks we've seen in this series.
Well, it has, and some of those games have been very dominating fashion from the Panthers. They've I don't remember how many years ago it was, but it wasn't very many that they reeled off a perfect regular season, finishing 10 or 11-0. So the Brooks folks have got things going on over here. It's a great happening place. They're 0-3, and I guarantee you they are hungry for a win tonight. That makes them a very dangerous team for the Maroon Devils to face at 3-0 coming in, because records don't mean a whole lot when you get into these type of games, and I'm sure that was a point of emphasis all week for both teams.
Oh, and Coach Josh Brooks, of course, the head coach here at Franklin High School, has never had a team start 0-4, ever. That tells you the excellence they're expecting out of their Franklin Panthers. Of course, they have a lot of folks here on the coaching staff that we know very well. One of those, Tony Plemons, who is an outstanding athlete himself at Swain County High School, along with Coach Josh Brooks' brother Jay, and all the staff that do a good job. So we're looking at 2 good teams, 2 good coaching staffs, and so we expect some excellent football.
I think it'll be a great game. Looking forward to it. There's a lot of football going on as we kind of wind down before conference play begins for everybody in Western North Carolina. I know the Maroon Devils, next time they take the field, they'll be kicking off their conference season. So that's a big deal. And I know there's another game tonight in the Smoky Mountain Conference that all of Western North Carolina is going to look at. That's that Murphy and Christ School game.
Oh, no doubt. That's going to be an interesting game to see how the Murphy Bulldogs are ranked in the top 5 in the state 1A poll. And by the way, along with Robbinsville and our Maroon Devils, we have 3 teams from the Smoky Mountain Conference in this week's top 10. But, yeah, to see Murphy, how they match up with that Air Christ School Navy Schuler passing game should be a lot of fun.
Well, it'll be a good one, and I know it'll get a lot of attention, but this one should be a dandy as well along the way. So there's a lot of good football. Smoky and Rosman going at it tonight as well, and I think Hayesville's game was postponed. I don't know if you saw anything about that or not.
Wow.
I think they had a game scheduled with a team, one of the teams from Georgia. They got, I think they got rained out early, or that was canceled or postponed for the time being, and so we'll keep an eye on that. And the 2 teams coming together at midfield, Gary. We're just 4 minutes away from kickoff here. And I don't know that we'll have time for the Bryson City Outdoors commercial right now. We'll run it for you at halftime.
Okay.
We'll work on it and get it going. And I tell you what, if we don't get it going, we'll have it going and play it for you on our Facebook page next week. But the 2 teams getting ready to toss the coin here, and the Maroon Devils making their way down the opposite sideline, getting ready to come on the field. A little different look tonight, Gary, as the Maroon Devils have donned dark pants with a white jersey. They've stayed solid all year up till now. So if you're superstitious, folks, you're fretting yourself to death right now and twiddling your thumbs, hoping that's not bad luck.
It is Friday the 13th, and Toby, we're talking about this week's AP Class 1A rankings. Murphy ranked number 2 in the state behind Tarboro. Of course, Mitchell County just up the road, number 4. Robbinsville, number 6 in this week's 1A poll. And our Maroon Devils are number 9. And those opponents in Mount Airy, they got 12 votes this week as well. But it's really interesting to see 3 teams from the Smoky Mountain Conference in the state's top 10 poll.
Yeah, well, I think that's deserving, to be honest with you. The Panthers have won the toss, and they will receive. So I don't think we're going to have time for that commercial, even though it sounded like we got the audio fixed. We'll run it for you at halftime and get that in for you then. The Maroon Devils getting ready to take the field. They'll kick off. Panthers offense will go on the field first for Franklin and see what they can do.
Well, I'll tell you, Franklin has had, in the first 3 games, Toby, just a tough time getting points on the board. They lost their first game out to Asheville 34-6, a very explosive team. I'll tell you, against Murphy, that was a heck of a game, 15-7. And if you can play Murphy that close, that tells you you're a good football team.
Yeah, I think they're been plagued a little bit by some turnovers that have hurt them at key times. You know, there are those turnovers that you have that don't hurt so bad, and then there are those that really hurt as the Panthers take the field. And I think they've had some of that variety of turnovers that really hurt. And then last week, I guess the big surprise is Rayburn Gap Noguchi with a 45-35 win over Franklin.
Yeah, that was a game where they had a couple of interceptions. And Raven Gap is a little bit like Christ School in the fact that they throw it all over the field, and they've got these outstanding 6'4" and 6'5" receivers that those kind of guys are hard for anybody to guard against.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And I think they also had a scoop fumble that changed the field position to Rayburn Gap, that is. So the Maroon Devils will kick it off first here. It'll be Aiden Pond to do the honors. Panthers, I believe, will receive it to your left if they line up, I think, the way they did down there. Maybe I'm wrong. Looks like I am wrong because I see our head official down on the goal line on our right-hand side.
And if I'm right, I think Dennis Setzer is going to be our head official.
You are correct.
Saw him last Friday over in the parking lot as we were getting together over in Waynesville going to Enka, and he says, "Yep, I got you guys next Friday." And Dennis Setzer does a lot of Smoky Mountain Conference football.
And he's on the field tonight. Yep.
He's the man in the white hat. And, of course, his son, Scotty, they're both well-known officials throughout Western North Carolina, and they call a lot of games. And you're right, the Maroon Devils will kick off, and it's going to be the Franklin Panthers. They'll be moving right to left on your radio dial. Our Maroon Devils will be moving left to right. And I say radio dial, but not many people have radio dials anymore. It's all digital.
They probably don't know what that is. You just dated yourself right there.
They know I'm old. They know I'm old if I mention radio dial. All right, we're ready to go here as the man with a plan, number 11, Aiden Pond, will kick it off for the Maroon Devils here. The Franklin Panthers are going to be wearing their dark gray jerseys, and back to return is going to be Keegan Pollock. He's a 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore. He's the deep man back to return, as he's standing just about the 6-yard line. This kick is going to be going right down the middle, right in his hands. He takes it on the first hop, out to the 10, out to the 15, and he slipped. He slipped on the grass. Now, we understand there might have been a little rain earlier this afternoon over in this area, Toby, so I haven't been on the field, but might be a little slick.
Yeah, we did hear that there was some rain prior to the teams arriving even at the stadium here in Franklin, and that looked indicative, although this field is a natural field and it is crowned very well, so
yes,
water's not going to stand on it very long.
They do a good job maintaining their field, and of course that's Coach Jay Brooks. That's kind of his baby, if you will. Noah Sitton is going to be the quarterback. He's under center. Got a man right behind him. Got a man in motion here as he takes the snap, and they come right up the A-gap. Nothing fancy there, and they're met head-on by Chase Hughes and a bunch of guys in maroon and white jerseys. Also in there is Bryce Sane combining on the tackle.
Kirkland in there, too. Pretty much the interior of the Maroon Devil line. Gain looked like about 1 on that play, so the Panthers will set it up with second down here, remaining in offset I formation.
And their backs in the backfield are going to be Braden Cody, also Seth Price. Price, one of their leading running backs, got a man in motion again, coming to the same side. The handoff to the deep man in that I formation. He runs to the right side for a short gain. And again, good coverage from sideline to sideline over there by the linebackers for the Maroon Devils secondary.
That looked like Bryce Sane on his own over there, unless I misinterpreted that number.
And Thomas Allen.
Thomas is back this week, and he
just checked out as well.
So he is back in the Maroon Devils lineup. That's a huge return for the Maroon Devils.
And we hope he's going to be okay. He checked out of this play after that tackle as he was involved over there along with Bryce and Jake Langston. Passing time for the Panthers. They sweep it out. It's going to be out to the 25, out to the 30. First down over there on the tackle is going to be Connor Hyatt as he traps him against the sideline. Finally getting him down out across the 35-yard line, but that's the biggest offensive play of the night so far.
That was a trailing back out of the backfield. Nobody had him, and the receivers locked up our coverage people in blocks, and he had a wide open lane there to run. Connor doing a good job coming off of his block to make that tackle on the Franklin sideline, but not before the Panthers pick up a big gain.
Now Noah Sitton again, their senior quarterback. He's 5'11", a 200-pounder. He's going to hand off. They run to the left side. Got a big fullback out in front, and they pick up some good yards out across the 45-yard line before Jake Langston comes up to help out on the tackle. He's over there helping him out as Connor Hyatt. But again, nothing new here, Toby. They like the short pass, and then they like the run, and that's what we're going to see all night.
Yeah, that was more of a modern offensive set. As Sitton was in the shotgun formation. It looked like a stretch play, a read option type play, but they pull both interior linemen to get people in front of him.
In the backfield, just to Sitton's left, is going to be Seth Price again. He takes the handoff, has blockers in front of him, but the defensive line knocking the blockers out of the way. Coming up to help out on the tackle, Charlie Lambert over there, and big Nick Millsaps. Also looks like Colby Kirkland on the stop as well.
Well, somebody from the linebacking position came and blew that play up by taking out the blockers and made it easy. Nick Millsaps actually coming from the backside to make that play.
And I tell you, Nick kind of stands out there. When you're 6'7", 295 pounds, you kind of stand out. He's a big guy.
I really felt like he had one of his more dominant games last Friday. He did a really good job up front controlling the line of scrimmage.
He really did. The line had an outstanding game. Franklin now flipping receivers over on the right side, strong side right. They're going to run there. The quarterback takes it, runs right behind all those extra blockers, and he carries out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. That was third down, so this should bring up fourth down and about 1.5 yards here, Toby. So big decision time here on fourth and short.
That was Lucas Brown, Chase Hughes over there on that tackle, and it's 4th and 1 yard. From the Franklin 47, so they're in Panther territory. But I tell you what, Gary, if you're an 0-3 team, you got nothing to lose. You might as well roll the dice.
That's it. They're going to go for it on fourth down and just about 1 yard to go. Price tries to go straight ahead, but I don't think he got it.
He did not get that.
He was knocked back.
He did not get that. The Maroon Devils control the line of scrimmage right there.
Chase Hughes, one of those guys right in the middle of that stack.
So it'll be Maroon Devil ball unless something that I don't see happened.
They're going to measure as Dennis Setzer calls for the chains.
He may have even lost 1 yard.
But I don't think it's very close from, again, this angle. 8:16 to play. We're in the first quarter here under cloudy skies at Franklin High School. And as anybody knows who comes in here tonight, the pit is a very, very hard place to win.
And it is. Maroon Devil football, we were right. So they were short by 1 yard. And it will be now Swain's first go offensively at it. Lossie and his crowd will take the field and see what they can get going against what is always a stiff Franklin Panther defense against our veer option.
Oh, no question. Some of the guys we're going to be watching on their defensive side of the ball. Seth Price, their leading tackler. Also Ryan Craig, Braden Cody, Jarrett Evans, Evan Klatt. Some of those guys, Devin Blackburn, those are their leading tacklers on the defensive side of the ball. And we've got some problems on first down here as the whistles are blowing.
We got procedures, so that's going to be on the Maroon Devils. So they'll start 1st and 15. And again, those are those type of mistakes we talked about last week, Gary, of putting yourself behind the chains early on. A veer offense, that's not very conducive to being able to make 15 yards. So those are the type of mistakes that Coach Blankenship and his staff want to see eliminated from the Swain.
Yeah, that's a mental mistake, as coaches like to categorize them. That's a mental mistake, not a play of aggression. That is just mental. Got to be focused. Here comes Damian Lossie running to the left side. He keeps it down the left sideline, has some room, got the first down and way more inside the 30-yard line. So Lossie getting all that back and then some.
Well, that was a misdirection type play. We got a flag on the play over here back at the line of scrimmage almost. We'll see what that ends up being. That's in the area of an illegal block of some sort.
Yep, illegal block in the back or a holding call probably on the line.
And Swain is already moving backwards, so that would seem to indicate that it's a hold or a block in the back. Getting ready to get the signal from Mr. Setzer. And that is holding.
Yep, holding against the offense. So Dennis Setzer is actually mic'd up tonight. He won't know how to act out there, hearing himself all over the stadium. Yeah.
So actually the Maroon Devils end up gaining 1 yard out of that, of the Lossie run. It'll be 1st and 14 now.
So, of course, Damian had a first down inside the 35-yard line before wiped out by the penalty. So already 2 penalties here on the first series. And Coach Scotty McMahon, the offensive coordinator, and Coach Neil Blankenship will not be happy with that situation. Handing out this time to Bryce Sane. He turns the corner. He's down inside the 40-yard line, 35-30 down the sideline, and he steps out of bounds as they got the angle on him down there. But there's the first down, and so far, no penalty.
2 big gains on offense right out of the chute for the Maroon Devils. Good sign for Maroon Devil faithful. And now they're deep in Panther territory here.
Line of scrimmage going to be at the 26-yard line on the right hash now with just under 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter. No score by either team. Split backs behind Lossie. The split back veer set. Strong side right this time. Matter of fact, tight ends on both sides, and the handoff going right up the A-gap down near the 25-yard line for a short gain this time.
I was saying on the veer read, and he didn't gain much at all. He got maybe a yard. That's solely on line surge right there, Gary. It was nothing more than that. As Bryce was enveloped over there pretty quickly by, it looked like big number 77 for the Panthers.
And he is a big boy. That's Sean Dunn, one of their seniors. And on this team, there are 10 seniors, 18 juniors, 14 sophomores, and 4 freshmen. As always, very physical. Both these teams like to play hard-nosed football. Damian Lossy hands off to Bryce again, turning the corner left side, but this time they do allow him to turn the corner just a little bit as he gets down inside the 20-yard line, which is going to bring up third down now, Toby, and looks like about 3.5, maybe 4 for the Maroon Devils here with 7:10 to play in the first quarter.
Gain of about 5 by Bryce on that outside stretch play. And now the Maroon Devils with a third down rather. But certainly in 4-down territory here, it's one of those where you think about 2 downs to make those 3.5, 4 yards you're talking about.
And right now we're getting down into what we can call tonight the Bryson City Outdoors red zone as we're down inside the 20-yard line with about 7:10 to play in the first quarter. We appreciate the sponsorship of Bryson City Outdoors. We have a special presentation made by East Elementary students coming up at halftime. Right now there's a timeout on the field, though, and we'll come back as the coaches talk it over with the players after this 1-minute break. Stay with us on the Maroon Devils Network.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest.
Fans, welcome back as Damian Lossy lining him up. Handoff tries the right side of the line, and there's Bryce saying, no, check that.
Brooks.
That's going to be Brooks on the carry as he's going to be down near the 16-yard line. And, Toby, I believe he's got enough of the first down. It's going to be very close. Let's see where the spot is.
Looked like he got to the 15, but they didn't give him that, so it's going to be kind of close. He
really? Yeah.
Got an assist down there by Jake Langston. Pushing him along. I actually thought he got a little further than that, Gary, but they've spotted him back at the 16. And that's going to be short.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm afraid that's not what we expected on the spot, to be honest.
So that'll leave the Devils a 4th and less than 1.
Of course, we're in 4-down territory. They're going to stretch the chains, and let's see what Dennis Setzer has to say. And, yep, it's going to be short, less than a foot, Toby. That's how close it is. Less than a foot to go with 7 minutes to play in the first quarter.
So early on here, both teams facing a 4th and going for it type situation. The Panthers were stopped short in theirs, and now the Maroon Devils will take their turn at it and see what they can do.
And in the backfield, of course, on this particular play, we've got Bryce Sane and the fullback Ian Brooks, another one of those seniors who likes to play physical. Brooks, a very physical runner.
2 tight ends.
Here we go. Power set for the Maroon Devils. One man wide to the right side is Connor Hyatt. And it's going to be Damian Lossy keeping it. And he's got the first down with a yard or so to spare.
Oh, yeah. He got it easy on the offensive line surge and then was able to roll himself off that line surge and get an extra yard out of it.
And kudos to our offensive line. We don't talk about these guys a whole lot, but up front we got Jake Langston, Cody Long, Chase Hughes, Charlie Lambert, Colby Kirkland, Nick Millsaps, among others that really set the tone.
Oh, they absolutely set the tone. That's going to be a first down for the Maroon Devils, but they can still make another first down on about the 4-yard line down there, it looks like.
So now in the backfield again, it's going to be Ian and Bryce behind Damian. Bryce gets the call, tries to turn the right corner, gets just inside the 10-yard line before being knocked out of bounds. So Bryce is so quick, he's been able to get to that corner just about every time he gets the ball, Toby.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like he's just maybe a quarter away from breaking it. When things get a little tired going along down the way, I think he'll get around that corner and bust a long one here. The Panthers are 9 in the box. They've got no qualms about going straight up on our receivers and playing 9 in the box. So there's plenty of people in there.
Yep, only one wide receiver this time. Connor Hyatt wide left, everybody else in tight at the 8-yard line. And this time the handoff is pitched out to Bryce. He turns around the left side, and he dives down inside the 5-yard line here with 6 minutes to play in quarter number 1. No score yet, but the Maroon Devils threatening.
That one also short of the first down. That was Brooks on the toss out there, and he's a yard short of the first down. It looks like first down marks the 4, and I think they're on the 5.
Yep, you are correct, on the 5. Need 1 yard to go here for the Maroon Devil offense here as we're lined up now on 3rd down. Again, same set, 1 wide man, everybody else in tight. Just power football. Damian Lossy carries it, and did he get that yard? Let's see where they spot it. That's going to be the crucial point here.
He's most certainly got it.
I would think so, yes.
2 or 3. It's hard to tell from where they've spotted it there, where the ball's at, but it looks like it's inside of the 3.
Yeah, it's a first down and goal to go for the Maroon Devils here with 5:20 to play. And again, from our angle, sometimes it's tough to tell exactly where the spot is, but Lossy and company just grinding away on this particular offensive series. And here we go, first down and goal. Split backs again. Lossy under center, turns, hands off to the right side. And boy, Ian didn't have anywhere to run to on that particular play, Toby. They really met him in the hole, and he just had nowhere to go.
Well, it's been a staple of the Panthers for years to go all in on the dives and take those away. So I'm sure they spent a lot of time this week working on the dive plays out of the veer, and trying to take those away and make the quarterback make decisions is the strategy of that, and get penetration. So they got some penetration there because it looks like we're back to the 4. Probably a loss of a couple of yards there. Actually, nose is just inside the 5.
And, you know, their defensive line coach is a guy we know pretty well, and a former Maroon Devil, Tony Plemons. He's their D-line coach that gets ready to play this veer. 3rd down. This time, spinning, it's going to be Bryce Aim, but he's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss on the play. He had nowhere to go, and they had a linebacker come shooting through that gap, and Bryce got nailed for a loss.
Still at the 5. So I think they're going to go back to a traditional set as Gage Jones checks back into the lineup, so probably two receivers and 1 tight end here, and see what Coach Scotty McMahon dials up. It'll be an interesting decision time for Coach Neil Blankenship should the Maroon Devils not get this, because it is within Gavin Lanning field goal range. So does he elect to try that, or do they go ahead and go for it?
Gavin on the season already has 1 20-yard field goal. Here we go now as the Maroon Devils line up, split backs. Ian Brooks,
Timeout
Lossy and
Panthers.
company, and a timeout by the Franklin Panthers. They want to make sure they've got the right personnel on the field on this big 3rd down and goal from the 5-yard line. So we'll take a break as well. 3:24 to play first quarter. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hey.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
Fans, welcome back. Maroon Devils here looking at a 3rd down and 5. 3:24 to play first quarter. Again, in the Bryson City Outdoors red zone. Damian Lossy rolling, looking in the end zone, firing in the end zone. On the side, it's going to be very close, but it's going to be out of bounds. No good. Going to bring up fourth down, Toby. Decision time now from the 5. Oh, hold the phone. We got a flag down.
Hold.
Going to be holding. That's going to back it up. And as you know, that can affect the yardage for the field goal attempt.
It'll be third down over again. If they accept it, they can decline it, and it'll be fourth down on the 5. So an interesting decision early on here for Coach Brooks and the Panther staff, and they're thinking about it long and hard and getting the explanation so they can make their mind up whether they want to back the Maroon Devils up and give them 2 downs or whether they want to try one more from the 5. Its team's trying to tell him to decline it.
Yeah.
So let's see what they've opted to do.
It's going to be declined. Yes.
Yeah. So the Maroon Devils have one crack here from the 5, and they're going to try a field goal as Lanning jogs on the field.
So an interesting call here again. Coming on is Gavin Lanning, the 5'9 sophomore. He has one 20-yard field goal to his credit. And this one is going to be just outside. They're going to spot it just outside the 10 at the 11. So this will be a 21-yard field goal. Right in the center of the field, right in between the 2 hash marks. Holding on the play is going to be Connor Hyatt, who has very good hands. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, but it's low, and it hits the crossbar. Well, we saw that at Enka. We were hitting the left upright, but this time on the field goal attempt, Toby, it hit the crossbar instead.
And the bad part of that is the Panthers will now get the ball on the 20 instead of on the 5. So they gain 15 yards with their stand down there and possibly some momentum as now they'll come back out offensively with the score still at 0.
And we're thinking that that field goal attempt might have been partially blocked as well by some folks up on the line of scrimmage.
Great thing about our broadcast is the folks at home can rewind that and let us know.
That's it. There we go.
They can rewind it and see. So why do they get the ball on the 5, Gary?
That is a very good question. I'm not sure that's the right spot for the football. I think the football probably should come out to the 20.
Well,
and Dennis Setzer and the officiating crew are talking about that, and I have a feeling that may be what they're discussing right now, Toby.
Well, if I get a vote, I vote for the 5.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I get one, but I'm just lobbying in case I do.
Yeah.
They've got everybody involved in the discussion now.
Yeah, they got basically every official down there on the black and white stripes to get this decided.
And they've broke the huddle. I believe it's going to stay on the 5.
I'm surprised it's going to be at the 5 instead of the 20.
Okay.
So, of course, if you're a Maroon Devil fan, you're loving that call with 3:16 to play in the first quarter. All right, here we go. Franklin Panthers with the football. Under center is going to be Noah Sitton. Lining him up, and here they come running right up the gut. Nothing fancy out near the 10-yard line for a 5-yard gain on first down, almost the 10.
That was the fullback up front with a little misdirection, just a basic power eye play straight ahead for 5. So that gets them out of the shadow of their own goal line.
And right now in the backfield, Seth Price also in there along with Evan Klatt. 2 of their top running backs. They're deep at the running back position here at Franklin this year. As again, sitting under center, got one man deep behind him as he turns and hands off. But this time there's a lot of bodies up there at the line of scrimmage. Not much room to run through this time.
Same play. Ian Brooks sniffed that one out and was right there on top of it that time.
And Jake Langston, I'll tell you another guy, Jake Langston is in there playing well. Want to give a shout out to Wyatt Burnett running things back at the studio at WBHN 94.1 FM and 1590 AM. Wyatt keeping everything in the middle of the road back there tonight. Back to throw. Sitting overthrows his man over on the right sideline. Pretty good coverage over there, so probably a wise move, Tubby, to throw that one away.
Well, I tell you what, though, Gary, Christy Anthony was wide open on that sideline over there. If she could have caught that, she could have taken it back. I mean, she's standing right at where it went out of bounds. You can see her in your picture. Go back the other way, Joe. Right there she is in the maroon with the camera on next to our manager. She's right in the vicinity of that. She could have had it.
That's what I thought you
for
said.
A score.
When you said Christy Anthony, I'm like, when did she get on the team?
I threw you for a loop, didn't I?
Yeah, it really did. I'm like, she could probably do it, too. She's an outstanding person. Here comes an end-over-end punt. It's going to hit at about the 30-yard line, take a sideways bounce, and go out of. It's going to be spotted dead at about the 26, maybe 27-yard line. So Maroon Devils with 1:55 to play in the first quarter very good field position.
And really and truly, the Maroon Devils have played the entire first quarter down here in the shadows of the Panther end zone and have nothing to show for it, which is a little discouraging. They get it again in excellent field position, and let's see if they can put some points on the board out of this one.
Going to split two wide receivers this time. Gage Jones comes in to join Connor Hyatt. One left, one right. One back right beside Damian Lossy. Damian's going to pitch it out to the left side. There's Bryce Sane. He gets down the sideline. And you don't want to let this guy have much room because, as you know, Toby, give him a step and it's trouble.
Well, he's out of bounds, and after 9.5 yards, it looks like they're on that basic option play to the outside. Damian just read that outside end. And when the end came for him, he pitched it to Bryce, who had nobody on him at that point. Now back to the traditional set for the Devils.
Ian Brooks back in there at fullback, and Damian's going to run it right behind Ian. Ian blocking, kind of leading the way through the hole as Damian gets down inside the 15-yard line, first down.
And the Maroon Devils again in a position where they can get another first down at probably what's the 1 or maybe 2.
You're right.
Looks like the 2.
Yep, they're going to say the line of scrimmage is just about the 11 or 12. So this time again, split back veer. Damian Lossy turns, has the option, pitches back to Bryce. Franklin tried to cut it off, but Bryce is going to be
a horse collar there.
Yeah, there's a horse collar at the 9-yard line as he was dragged down from behind.
And Bryce comes up limping. That's not a good sign.
And that's why that is a penalty with 1:19 to play on the first quarter.
What will this do field position-wise?
Probably, I'm guessing, Toby, half the distance. So are we thinking? Let's see. It's going to be spotted at just inside the 5. So that should be
first and 2.
First and about 2, yeah. So half the distance on the penalty. So first and 2 from the 5-yard line. Again, 1:10 and counting left to play in the first quarter. No score by either team. Split backs again for the Devil offense. 2 wide receivers. Handoff goes to the right side, but not much room there for Ian Brooks. As again, Franklin Panthers coming up with pretty good defense on that D line.
I think he got a first down out of that. Nope, 2nd and inches.
Yep, just needs just a tad. 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. Very humid night tonight. It's not as warm as we've seen, but a humid, cloudy night here tonight at the Panther Pit, where it's so hard to get a win on the road here. And this time the pitch goes to Bryce, but he is hit in the backfield, Toby, and that's a loss on the play. Again, back to the 5, and just really nowhere to go.
No.
Good penetration by the linebacker and corner on that side over there.
So 3rd and 1.5.
I think you're right on.
What you call it? They're going to let the clock go, and that's going to do us for the first quarter probably.
So after the end of 0-0, we'll be back with the second quarter after this 1-minute break here on the Maroon Devils Network.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
All fed through. That's going to be a nice opportunity there. Gavin Lanning, and we have a goal for Swain. Gavin Lanning on the.
And so welcome back after the end of one quarter and no score here from the pit at Franklin High School. the former Smoky Mountain Conference 2A foes, the Maroon Devils and the Franklin Panthers. Here we go. Now the Maroon Devils third down. We need 1.5 yards. Split backs again right behind Damian Lossey. 2 wide receivers. Damian straight ahead. Going to be very close, Toby. He's in. He got through. He knifed, found just an angle, and got it in the end zone.
So Damian becomes an extra running back in that situation and gets it in from 5 yards out. So the Maroon Devils able to put points on the board here to start the second period. Good job by Damian on that read. And now Lanning will attempt the point after to try to give the Maroon Devils a 7-0 lead.
And again, he was hit initially and just kept driving his legs and did not give up and found a little angle to get through. Now again, Lanning for the point after touchdown. This one has plenty of air under it, and the PAT is good. And we'll keep it right here with 11:54 to play in this second quarter. 7-0. Maroon Devil lead over the Franklin Panthers here on a Friday night. And as we mentioned, no football next Friday for the Maroon
Devils. No, we get the night off, but if everybody was paying attention in the break just then, the soccer highlight that we put up there, you can catch anything on the Maroon Devil Network. Just stay tuned in. We've got it all coming your way. Great soccer highlight there, volleyball, soccer, football. It's all coming your way on the Maroon Devils Network. That's what we're for.
And next week, the varsity has the week off, but the JVs are going to be hosting Rosman next Thursday, September 19th. The volleyball team is going to be on the road at Robbinsville Tuesday, then hosting Rosman at home next Thursday. And speaking of soccer, the soccer team is going to be at Smoky Mountain on Monday at 6, and we'll be hosting Brevard on Wednesday at 6 o'clock at Swain High. So there's your look for the week with some of the other activities going on. People think we're just about football, but, hey, it's a whole lot more than that. Oh, I just saw lightning right over there on the left-hand side.
Wow.
And, boy, that does not bode well. We'll see if that gets the attention of the officials. If it does, we're going to have a delay. But right now we're going to play. Kicking off is going to be Aiden Pond. He kicks it right down the middle, and it's going to be taken up at the 15-yard line, out to the 20, 25, out to the 30. Breaking a tackle at the 30. A couple of tackles over there is going to be Keegan Pollock. And good job as he broke a couple of tackles and is finally brought down at the about the 29, almost 30-yard line, just underway second quarter.
I think that was 60 and
Bryn
16, Jackson and Jones on that tackle.
Bryn Jackson haven't called his name a whole lot this year, but doing a good job on special teams along with Gage Jones, who is a sure tackler, playing safety and wide receiver as well. And now let's see. All right, the officials ready to go. 11:47 to play in the first half here as the Franklin Panthers kind of on our end, and we say our end where we're broadcasting. We're about the 30-yard line, and a swing pass out to the left side, and it fooled nobody. Coming up was the defense over there for a big stop for a loss in the backfield. Doing a good job over there. Looks like Lucas Brown, the corner, the senior.
Thomas Allen coming in on that as well to help out, and Hyatt over there as they had both the receivers on the same side.
This time the Panthers bring one man wide right, one man in the slot on the right-hand side over here. As looks like Ian Brooks will cover along with Connor Hyatt. This time it's going to run to this side, trying to get a block and getting outside. Connor Hyatt stands him up, and here comes Brooks and company to help out on the tackle. Good job in there as well by Connor McCoy, the senior lineman.
Good to see Connor back. If you remember, he lost all of last year to that knee injury, and he was a big cog in that Maroon Devil team before he went down with that injury. So it's nice to see him back out there and moving the way he did before the injury and playing well.
No doubt. The senior, 6 foot, 215 pounds. Of course, that name McCoy has a good connotation. We've had some real McCoys, if you'll pardon the pun, at Swain County High School. 10.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 7-0 ball game. Panthers at the 27. Third down. They need 13. Showing blitz on the right side. Back to throw is going to be Sitton. Throws it down the left side in traffic, and it's going to be intercepted at the 44-yard line.
Who is that? It's 34. That's Taylor.
Yep, that's going to be Colby Taylor, looks like, on the pick. And that ball kind of hung up a little bit, allowing the DB to get there.
And that's still on the Panther side of the field. So the Maroon Devils living in Franklin territory so far in this ball game. And they're going to take it over here at the 42, which, believe it or not, Maroon Devil fans, is some of their worst position of the night, field position-wise.
10:17 to play here in the second quarter. Under cloudy skies, still a threat of potential thunder showers maybe on later tonight. We'll see. First down and 10. Split backs again, one man wide on each side for the Devil offense. Lossy back to throw. Timing pattern left side. Connor Hyde is wide open, and he waltzes into the end zone. No problem, as again, he had about 3 steps on his defensive back over there for an easy touchdown.
Well, that was a nice throw and catch right there by Lossy to Hyatt. Covering 42 yards, big Maroon Devil touchdown. They show the quick strike capability to go with that long drive. And now Lanning will attempt his second of the night.
So coming on again for the Maroon Devil special teams, sophomore Gavin Lanning, wearing number 14, gets his steps, sets up. Looks like Connor Hyde is going to be your holder. He gets it down. The kick is up, and it's going to be good again. So he's 2 for 2 on the PATs, and it's a 14-0 lead with 10:10 to play. And we'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll continue. Stay with us on the Maroon Devils Network.
And now Swain with a chance to attack. They go back row to Marr, and she gets a kill down the left-hand side.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Fans, welcome back on a Friday night here at the Panther Pit. 10:10 to play in the second quarter. And the Maroon Devils will kick it back to the Franklin Panthers and their deep man, Keegan Pollock here. Toby with a 14-0 lead. And let's see what Aiden Pond can do so far tonight. He's been booting it right down the middle. And again, Pollock very capable. This one going to be coming right to him. Oh, he lets it get by, but so we got a whistle. Yep. Got a little bit too anxious there on the kickoff team.
I think it's Aiden. He slows his steps down just a little bit right before he kicks, and I think the kickoff team has a hard time catching up to that. They start a little too early, and it's cost them a couple of times this year already.
And, you know, everybody talks about offense and defense, but how many times does special team play determine the outcome of a football game?
And the field position battle is critical. There have been several of these games between these two teams won by punters keeping the opposing team in bad field position all night.
And now we've got a switch off and return man for the Franklin Panthers. Looks like coming in is going to be number 35, and that's Evan Klatt. So he's going to be the deep man now instead of Keegan Pollock. This one coming right down the middle again, and Klatt's going to chase it down. Takes it on the run, 15, 20, 25, reverses field, and he gets by one guy, and still a good return out across the 25-yard line. So Klatt, a speedy return man for the Franklin Panthers.
So some of the best field position-wise of the night for the Panthers up to their own 25, 26 to start this drive. And the worst thing for either of these teams in this series has been being put behind the scoreboard and having to play outside of your game to stay in it.
Yeah, and both teams, of course, like to depend on the run. Both teams have always been very physical, run-oriented, physical, defensive-minded football teams. First down and 10, Panthers. And here comes a little misdirection out across the 25-30. And one of the Panthers' better offensive plays tonight out to the 32-yard line. Ian Brooks on the tackle over there. And again, that's Jarrett Evans, the fullback, the senior, on the carry for the Panthers.
Connor Hyatt coming up in from the secondary for run support right there. Was in the hole to make the play. Ian's job is to turn that thing back in. He's got to keep his left shoulder to the sideline and make sure he gets turned back in. So he did his part to turn it in, and Connor come in and cleaned it up. But good gain for the Panthers. There's another good game right there as they do their bread and butter right up the middle. Thomas Allen in there to make the play for the Devils, but not before they get a first down.
Yep, nothing fancy there, Toby. As you mentioned, just kind of right up the A-gap there. And Thomas Allen, good to see that he's okay and playing tonight.
I think he was out last week due to some dental surgery, more so than any kind of nagging thing. But you know how that can be if you just had it that day. He was not able to play, unfortunately for him. But he's back this week and already making an impact.
Yep, doing a good job. First down and 10, Panthers. Misdirection, handoff again. This time got him kind of the back of the jersey tackle and slowing down the running back at the 38-yard line. And then several guys coming up along with Nick Millsaps and Colby Kirkland on the tackle.
McCoy in on that one as well. And he's swapping out over there with, looks like Chase Hughes. Is the importance of that is to be able to keep those guys fresh, because we've talked about it before. They go both ways.
Yeah.
And Kirkland or McCoy being able to kind of help out.
They're throwing left side, a little too tall again. Thomas Allen over there, 6'2" senior, coming up with a defensive stop with the pass too high for the intended receiver.
Now Taylor shuffling in for Allen.
And when you have 9 and 10 players playing both ways, you got to try to do something to keep a little bit of freshness there.
Yeah, you'll find that they've got a sub who can play multiple positions, so they bring that sub in and let them rotate through fence, so to speak.
Here for Noah sitting in the offense. Rolling. Here comes pressure. Fires. And is it going to be intercepted? Here's the Maroon Devil there at about the 40-yard line.
Gage Jones.
And apparently comes down with the football. Gage Jones, the safety over there, number 16. And so the second pick tonight with 8:23 to play here in the second quarter.
Well, I tell you what, give Jake Langston an assist on that. He put all sorts of pressure on the quarterback to force that throw. He was just a split second away from a sack. And he did a great job coming free and applying the pressure, forcing that turnover. And once again, the Maroon Devils still in Panther territory here to open this drive.
On the season, Noah sitting 15 of 46, 203 yards passing for the Franklin Panthers. Now the Maroon Devils will put Damian Lossy back in the gun, and he's going to run to the right side, but not much room as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that's where it stops with 8:15 to play in the first half.
That was a straight read option out of the shotgun set there. Maroon Devils staying true to their option nature, even though they get in that shotgun a lot of times. And it's like Coach White said last year, he loves that formation for Damian and Bryce, who really likes, he feels like it really gives defenses a hard time to gear up for them in that formation. And the Maroon Devils have gone to it here early and often in this one.
Shotgun, got a man on the wing on the left side. Damian rolling that way, firing that way, but the receiver zagged inside. The pass came outside, so the receiver and the quarterback not on the same page, obviously, with the route on the pass.
Yeah, that's just a mix-up on one of their parts. I don't know which one, but somebody had the wrong route.
Yep. And, again, the receiver cut inside on a slant, but the pass coming outside toward the sideline, and that happens.
It does. And for one of the rare times, Maroon Devils faced with 3rd and 10. And I think we got an injury here or something the officials are concerned about with one of the Panther players. They're showing him off. It's 28, 25 is checked in for him. Maybe it's a little blood on the jersey, or he's got a skin elbow. So
yeah, Seth Price comes out. He is their leading tackler on defense.
He's got to get that blood cleaned up, and the trainer's over fixing that up. He'll be right back in after this play, I'm quite sure.
Yep, can't have that blood flowing around. 3rd down and 10 now for the Rebels. 7:41 to play here in the second. 14-0 lead over the Franklin Panthers now. 3rd down and long. Bryce Sane coming in motion, stops in the slot. Damian Lossy going to try to basically run, but wow, he got there as after about a yard or two.
No, Gary, because Bryce Sane sprinted out. And so
wow.
And I think we're having a little trouble with our stream over here. He tackled the blocker and the runner that time.
That's what you call reading a play.
So we have a stream now. It's not a very good one, but we're back up with a stream. So folks at home, if you missed what I said earlier, we're experiencing over here and cell phone signal in it. So bear with us. We're still here. Hey, there's not a lot we can do. Fix.
Price and Clackville by Musson. Roll to the right side. The block fires. There's an intended receiver over again. Was flat out backfield. Kind of throwing behind him. That's a catch.
Move direction that the ball's actually coming to, and it just make one. The Panthers behind the stump. The fields had proved where they were early. So
3rd down now. 4.5 player on the second quarter. And the Maroon Devils can be on their toes here. Pass the right side. Rolling, looking to the right side. Oh, and he's got his man at the 45. He came up on the play. Took a play on it. And got it over the defenders for the first down.
Yeah, Connor undercut the route. He get a pick six right there, and it just sailed over his head. And completed pass, give Panthers a first down and into Maroon Devil territory. So that sustained drive we talked about, Panthers kind of putting that together, and at worst now they flip field on Maroon Devils.
No question. They started back inside after the penalty, about the 10-yard line. So now in Maroon Devil territory at the 47-yard line, 4:20 to play, second quarter. This time being on the left side, but the run goes to the right side. And right there in the grasp, again, they knew there. These guys will be talking out. There's Nick Millsaps getting off bottom aisle.
Eat that play.
Calling with 4 stay now in this final conference game before we start conference play. No later in the final conference game with Asheville Gladiator. Remember, but now we got Eric Andrews, Osmond Williams. This time, Wayne Ryan left to throw. Has time. Now the Bulls going to tuck it in down to the 35, the 40, inside the 40, and that's going to be it's going to be very close to a Panther on the spot at the 38-yard line.
So yard shy.
The 38 with Kelly first. Panther look to this line. And the play call from head coach and Gordon Josh. This time on the left. Sitting under center. Turns and hands off to tack. Just over the gap outside the 35, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
The hole opened up wide.
The
Panthers on the blocking scheme made some adjustments up front, and that result was the first down.
I think we're kind of used to seeing some. I mean, Devils running football, Franklin Panthers running the football, a short pass here and there.
And that's got to be procedure. Everybody was moving on that one.
False start against the Panther offense.
The tackle was turned around pointing at the quarterback.
So the signal count between the quarterback and the lineman, their train of thought not quite the same.
Yep.
But again, far and rain tonight. We thought
beautiful night.
Great night for football. We thought saw a little last. Let's hope that stays away. Those 30-minute plays.
No.
We don't want to do. Hey, just lightning, stay away. Here we go. This time sitting back in the shotgun. Hands off, Mister on the carry. It's going to be 33. And that was the first down, by the way. Down carry, not a whole lot of room.
Looked like Noah Romero over there on the tackle gear, number 55. He checked in. Maroon Devils doing some substituting here to keep fresh folks out there. They've been on the field for a while.
Yep.
A lot of fresh faces came in and out over the last couple of series. I know Nick Millsaps rotated out. Looks like McCoy's back in there at defensive front. Romero came in there at linebacker. Looks like back in now.
Rolling to his right now on second down. Firing to the right sideline. He's got his man down on the sideline. Knocked out of bounds near the 20-yard line. The Devils secondary.
That's a first down for the Panthers.
And down there on the stop looks like is Gage Jones, the Devils safety.
They flooded that route. There was a whole lot of out patterns over there, and looks like they're going to do
got an official timeout here.
It's Jake Langston. Looks like he's got bleeding or I don't know what it is. He's got his helmet off, and they're motioning him off the field.
Yep, he's either sick or got a helmet issue.
Well, Kerry Powell quickly out there to escort him to the sideline, and Romero back in for him.
And we hope he's going to be okay. We don't like to see any of these kids get hurt. And Kerry does escort him off the field. And I have a feeling we'll see him back in maybe. He looks like he's okay, but again, that's easy for us to say up here. Franklin Panthers with a stand after the pass and run to the right side again toward the short end of the field. A lot of gray and white jerseys over there. Ian Brooks leading the defense on tackle. Also helping him over there again. It'll be you.
A big gain on first down for the Panthers. It gives them a good field position with the sticks. A lot of playbook wide open to Coach Brooks.
Just over a minute left to play before halftime. And the run goes to the left side, just outside the gap around the outside of the left tackle and tight end over there for a short game. But it's going to be close to a first down. Down very close to the 15-yard line of the team.
Looked like Romero and Coy maybe were part of that tackle.
So the Panthers quick snap, and they hand off to the right side. And coming up on the tackle over the bunch of guys, Thomas Allen and others.
First one.
So it'll be down there.
Goal.
Justin Yard side. Oh, the running back had trouble hanging on to the ball.
Got it. Charlie Lambert's got it. The swing ball.
Charlie Lambert out with football. And, boy, a tough break for the Panthers. Their best drive of the night with 27 seconds before halftime. And the running back just didn't quite connect.
So the Devils will get it. It's going to be on the Panther 10. So effectively, Franklin did flip the field.
They did.
On the Maroon Devils here, and now they need to make stand defensively. How many times did you say before?
Only 27 seconds. I think we're going to see a couple of running plays, and then the teams will
Looks like the Devils are going to take a knee.
Yeah.
And we got timeout by Franklin. I would assume Swain doesn't have any left.
Timeout Panthers. And don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll be hearing from Tyson City Outdoors, our sponsor tonight, and a commercial made by East Elementary students after we take a 2-minute break here after the final 27. And again, we hope that Jake Langston is going to be okay. He's over there on the sideline, but he looked okay. But again, we'll find out when he comes back out of the second half, I'm sure. Right now, we actually got a safety back there, a growing wall, kind of back inside the 5-yard line is a safety valve in case that ball gets loose. So looks like just going to hit a knee and go to the room at halftime. That's what's going to happen here. The locker room from the Panther pit with a 14-0 Maroon Devil lead here. Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back with more. But first, let's break down the line for this 2-minute timeout on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. We're at the pit at Franklin High of Maroon. Look at the total on the scoreboard. Maroon Devils 22 yards, Franklin 33 play yards.
Yeah, it's a yard-ass drive the Panthers had. It's very close, comparably. Remember, figured in that the Maroon Devils were long field, and so the yardage will be the same as indicative as a score. All now, we're still having off problems, cell signal problems. With us, it's nothing we can do.
Yep.
The cell reception here in the Panther pit is 1 bar to 2 bars at best. So we're coming and going. Right now we're going. It's not very good. So, and this game has been a pretty good one so far. Otherwise, Bryce Sain leads the way with 45 yards for the Maroon Devils, 7 carries. For the Panthers, it's priced with 24 yards on 11 carries, and everything's pretty even. The pass game advantage goes to the Maroon Devils. Damian Lossie very solid, too, for 43 yards. And touchdown as he hit Connor Hyatt, tried down the sideline for a score that covered all 43 of those yards.
And, Toby, I think one of the big stats in the first half, 8 turnovers and 1 fumble and turnovers. That's tough to overcome.
Well, they basically owned eyes on most every one of those turnovers. Yeah. They had something, and as I said, it's hard to come rhythm to your offense and find stuff that works for you when you're always behind the sticks.
Very, very difficult indeed. That's the Frank Van Gogh. She'll check their bat out.
Hey, I'm Ben, and this is Ray. Back in 2013, a friend of mine and I already see outdoors. And it started as just paddleboard and kayak rentals out on Fontana Lake, but now it's turned into much more than that. What we're going to do is some friends of mine are inside, and they're going to tell you more about what we do now and invite you to come along on the BC. So let's watch out and see what they're doing.
Sunglasses. Yep, they do. Steady, factual, and how to use these. They're cool and shady.
Look at all these amazing, unique, and durable.
They last longer.
And they have all the original ones.
Look at all these amazing hoodies. BC Outdoors even create their own original design.
If you need camping supplies, well, come on down to BCO. We have things like
hammocks, tents, sleeping bags, first aid kits, knives, tools, and much more. If you want all these things and more, come on down to BCO.
Come on down to BC Outdoors if you have a dog. We have dog food, dog bowls, even dog life jacket. We have everything you need for a best friend.
BC Outdoors has a wide selection of water bottles. They're colorful and they'll keep you hydrated.
If you come to BC Outdoor, you can shop one-of-a-kind jewelry selection. We have handmade, organic, outdoor-themed jewelry. Jewelry beautiful, bonita.
Come look at a variety of decals.
Come get one of these amazing decals and put it on something you cherish and hike or drive around in style.
And be part of our story.
Come on down to BC Outdoors. We have a wide variety of footwear, such as
flip-flops, water shoes, boots, tennis shoes, and hiking boots that will keep you on the trail longer.
If you're hiking or relaxing, we have the shoes for you.
Look at this amazing map. This map will help you know the area and learn your trails.
Whether you're back and like to take it slow, or you like to challenge yourself with the trails for you.
If you want to get on the water, come to Outdoors. We have every kind of for you.
So come on down to BC Outdoors.
Do you want camping but you don't want to buy this?
You can rent things such as sleep.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
Hey, I'm Ben, and this is my story. Back in 2013, a friend of mine and I started BC Outdoors, and it started as just paddleboard and kayak rentals out on Fontana Lake, but now it's turned into much more than that. What we're going to do is some friends of mine are inside, and they're going to tell you more about what we do now and invite you to come along on the BC Outdoors story. So let's go check out and see what they're doing.
They have sunglasses. Yep, they do. And they're sturdy, fashionable, and great for a hot summer's day. When hikers come in, they could really use these. They're cool and shady.
Look at all these amazing hats. They're unique and durable.
They last as long as you wear them.
And they have all these original designs.
Look at all these amazing t-shirts and hoodies. BC Outdoors even creates their own original design.
If you need camping supplies, well, come on down to BCO. We have things like
hammocks, tents, sleeping bags, first aid kits, knives, tools, and much more. If you want all these things and more, come on down to BCO.
Come on down to BC Outdoors if you have a dog. We have dog food, dog bowls, and even dog life jacket. We have everything you need for man's best friend.
BC Outdoors has a wide selection of water bottles. They're colorful and they'll keep you hydrated through the day.
If you come to BC Outdoor, you can shop one-of-a-kind jewelry selection. We have handmade, organic, outdoor-themed jewelry. Jewelry beautiful, bonita.
Come look at our wide variety of decals.
Come get one of these amazing decals and put it on something you cherish so you can hike or drive around in style.
And be part of our story.
Come on down to BC Outdoors. We have a wide variety of footwear, such as
flip-flops, water shoes, boots, tennis shoes, and hiking boots that will keep you on the trail longer.
If you're hiking or relaxing, we have the shoes for you.
Look at this amazing map. This map will help you know the area and learn your trails.
Whether you're laid back and like to take it slow, or you like to challenge yourself with a harder trail, we have the trails for you.
If you want to get on the water, come on down to BC Outdoors. We have
paddle boards and kayaks up for you.
So come on down to BC Outdoors. Do you want to go camping but you don't want to buy the stuff? You can rent it. You can rent things such as tents, sleeping bags, backpacks, camping stoves, hammocks. As you can see, BC Outdoors has it all.
We have a shuttle service that will drop you off at any trail you want.
And then we'll pick you up when you're done. So, come on down to BC Outdoors to be part of our story.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Eli Hutchins, a junior for the Jets, wearing their dark blue with white. Oh, the punt is going to be blocked over there, picking it up and blocking it. Charlie Lambert, the guy on the scene. Lambert came in and blocked it.
Charlie Lambert, a great
huge
job
play
right there. A huge play.
Twins out to the right side. Connor Hyatt, the wide man over here on the right side. As it's going to be reverse around the left side this time. It's going to be Donovan Gronewald, and he's going to score all the way. It looks like Gronewald is going to be in the end zone, Toby.
Yeah, that was a well-conceived play from the get-go, and you could almost see it unfolding up here. And all the Jets were running in this direction. And that one floats over for Parker. Cats pop it back up. It goes over down the line. Yance picks it up. A little indecision over there. Marr takes it over. It's back over Marr. Jumped a little too soon, but still hammered it. And now she blocks that one straight back down.
Here we go. First down, Mustangs.
There's
3.5 to
formation
play.
again, and here it comes. Same play.
Yep, here comes
Up
Stevens.
in there with Stevens again.
And
he found his seam.
Found that
ball,
seam.
ball
is loose.
Get on
it's
the
still
football.
loose.
We got it.
We got it at the 49-yard line.
Yeah.
Coming out with it is going to be, that's number 5, Connor Hyatt.
Yep. Connor is in the game, baby. Connor is showing out tonight.
Wow. Had the big touchdown reception, and that might be a game clincher. I don't want to say that too early, but that's big.
Swain will have a throw in. Their offensive third. Shot taken. That's going to be a goal.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Here we go. First down, Mustangs. 21-10, right? Fans, welcome back as we're getting ready for the second half here at the Pit in Franklin, as the Franklin Panthers, of course, under the direction of head coach Josh Brooks, and the Maroon Devils under the head direction of Neil Blankenship, ready to go. We'll see what tweaks they make, Toby Burrell, but how about some scores on the BC Outdoors scoreboard?
We got Robbinsville ahead of Rayburn Gap Nakuchi 21-20 in the second.
Wow.
At the half, Andrews and North Georgia are tied at 14. At the half, Christ School leads Murphy 14-7. And at the half, Smoky Mountain all over Rosman 63-0. Cherokee 23, Carolina Gladiators 0. That shows first quarter, but I sense it's probably later than that, not been updated. And Lookout Valley from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Hayesville again. I believe that game, if I saw correctly earlier today, has been postponed indefinitely due to weather on the Chattanooga side. I don't know.
So there have been some thunderstorms in some areas, and wow, that lightning can be a problem.
Yeah. I was trying to scroll down through here and see if we saw any other scores of interest, but I don't. So we're
that's about
almost ready for action here.
Ready to go. Maroon Devils will return to get this third quarter underway. 14-0 halftime score here at the Pit at Franklin High School. Again, as we said, Franklin has won 6 straight in this rivalry series. And I know Coach Neil Blankenship and his staff and players, they want to bring that to an end as well.
Yeah, they'd like to see that streak end. So Sane will receive this kick. The Panthers will do the honors here. They look like they have a short lineup right here for the kicker.
Also back there, Gage Jones and Connor Hyatt. And it's going to be down toward the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds, which will be good field position for the Swain High Maroon Devils here to get the third quarter underway from the Pit.
Traditionally, that's the 35.
Traditionally, there's the key word.
That's why I thought I might want to throw that in there just in case.
We need to go down. And I think Dennis is he's on the right page. He's going to spot it at the 35 out there.
I think this may be a key drive of this football game, Gary, to be honest with you, as to how the Maroon Devils respond here to open the second half. Franklin controlled the game much of the second quarter on offense, so be interesting to see how the Maroon Devils go at it.
So now it's going to be Bryce Sane right beside Damian Lossy. Lossy's going to carry it, cuts back inside, out across the 40, 45, out to the 47-yard line. A big first down on the first run, and that's a partial answer to your question, Toby, right there.
That looked like, again, the option to that side. Damian saw a seam inside, cut it back, weaved his way, and we're getting used to seeing Damian do that a lot, just kind of weaving his way through traffic until that last second he sees that daylight, plants that foot, and he's gone. So a good run by Damian to open the second half here for the Maroon Devils.
Again, a lot of that is just good old experience under game conditions. This time Ian Brooks, wing on the left side. And it's going to be Damian tossing over to Bryce Sane to the right side this time. And Bryce Sane down the sideline out to the inside the 30 all the way to the 25. Franklin, so again, 2 big plays on the opening series.
Swain ripping off huge gains to get down into Panther territory where they lived when they had the ball in the first half.
No doubt about it. They're going to spot it just outside the 26-yard line now. First down and 10. Again, two big plays, one by Bryce Zane, one by quarterback Damian Lossey. Behind the offensive line, this time coming wide to the left side is going to be Gage Jones, one of our wide receivers. Connor Hyatt up top on the right on the Maroon Devils side of the field now. Lossey will hand off. It's going to be Bryce again. This time another big hole on the left side down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. That's going to be another Maroon Devil first down. And right now, so it'll be the line of scrimmage is the answer to that first drive series.
Well, I think there was some challenges made at halftime to this offensive group and the line in general to go back to dominating the line of scrimmage, and they've certainly done that in this opening drive. 3 plays, and they're inside the 20 in the BC Outdoors red zone, as we were calling it.
There we go, 10.5 to play now. This time it's going to be Damian back in the gun with Bryce right beside him. And this time he's going to toss it out there to Bryce, and he's got plenty of room. Bryce Zane is going to be in the end zone. And we got a penalty flag. Yep, got a maybe had a late hit as Bryce Zane looks like got in the end zone.
I think they're going to call a hold on our receiver down there. Look, I think it's Connor Hyde. He's pleading his case with the Swain bench, but that's going to nullify the touchdown.
Yep, that's going to come back with a holding call against the offense with 10:19 to play in the third quarter.
I wonder where they'll be marked off from because the flag was in the end zone.
It looks like Bryce did cross the goal line, but again, the penalty is going to nullify that.
Coach Neil Blankenship getting an explanation over there on the call of the play, and I know when Connor started towards the bench, he was pleading his case that he hadn't done anything wrong.
Line of scrimmage is not going to be back out at the 11-yard line with 10:19 to play, and so again, it's going to bring up first down and about 6, almost 7 to go here from the 11-yard line. Got to get down inside the 4. Here comes Bryce again. He weaves his way back to about the 7 or 8-yard line for a short gain, but still positive yards. Second down coming up. Second down, we're going to need 4, and we're going to need about 8 for a touchdown here. Ball on the 8-yard line. And again, just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. 14-0 Maroon Devil lead. And again, the offensive line has really had their way on this particular drive. Damian back in the gun. Bryce to his left. He hands off to Bryce, runs to the right side, and he's in the touchdown. I don't see any penalty flag on this one, so this one ought to stand.
There's a good cutback by Bryce on that one to get inside that seam and just go straight to the end zone. And a good drive. I felt that was a key drive for this ball game, and the Maroon Devils being able to dominate that drive and push it downfield and get some points on the board. A huge statement.
Gavin Lanning coming on for the point after touchdown. He's been 2 for 2 on the night. Good snap, good hold, but this one is going to be low and wide. It's going to be no good. And with 9.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter, it's Swain 20, Franklin 0. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Welcome back, Keegan Pollock. Back to return for the Franklin Panthers here in the third quarter. 9.5 minutes to play as getting ready to kick off is Mr. Aiden Pond, and he kicks it high and pretty deep this time as Pollock all the way back to the 7, out across the 15 to the 20, turns right, cuts back in traffic, and is met at the 22-yard line, and that's where that one is going to end, and the Panthers will take over on offense now with a first down and 10.
Well, there's a whole host of Devils on that tackle. Chavez in there.
Yeah, Aiden Allison.
Yeah, good to see those guys getting in the action on the kickoff team there. Now the Maroon Devil defense, let's see if they can stymie the Panthers, who had good drives in that second quarter. They just couldn't punch it in when they needed to.
That's it. Turnovers really hurting the Panthers with 2 picks and a fumble. This time the Panthers come out with number 1, Noah Sitton under center, turns and pitches back to his trailing tailback, but there's a guy in the backfield almost as soon as the pitch is made. Ian Brooks is back there, and it looked like Charlie Lambert.
It was Charlie all the way. He knifed through and cut that back off from being able to get outside and made a nice tackle for a loss.
Good to see our old friend Fred Goldsmith here in the press box at Franklin High School. He does so much great work with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes around the area, and we appreciate what he does and what he stands for.
Well, he's a credit to the coaching profession, and that's for sure.
He really is just a great person and a great coach as well. Of course, he coached many years here at Franklin High School after leaving the college ranks. Rolling to the right side. It's going to be Sitton. Here comes pressure. He rolls, avoids the pressure, and gets his man out to the 20-yard line. It's still going to be a very short gain on the play. Got it out there, but again, there's a big tackle, open field by Connor Hyatt.
And Thomas Allen over there as well in the coverage sets up a big third down. I didn't get the number of the pressure. It looked like it may have been 55.
It was either Cody Long or Noah Romero.
But somebody came through and got some good pressure on Sitton.
Yep, and it may have been Noah. He's a big kid, 6'1", 235, a junior. And I tell you, it's amazing, Toby. Of course, back when you and I were in high school, nobody was as big as players we're seeing these days.
That's true.
Big kids playing high school football anymore. This time Sitton misdirection. A little counter out to the 35. Lowering his 25, out to the 30-yard line. It's as they all untangle. Again, coming up on the tackle is going to be Romero. And over there with him is Connor Hyatt. And again, that was Jarrett Evans, the Panthers senior fullback. Is going to bring up fourth down and a long 2 here.
And I believe the Panthers are going to go for it, down 20.
Yep, 7:20 to play here in the third quarter.
If nothing else, try to draw the Maroon Devils off sides. And they jumped, but they did not go.
Boy, that was close.
Nope. They threw it on the side over here. It looked ever so close, but it looked like he didn't make it over. But they're going to call it.
They're going to call it. I think our defensive lineman over there got his hand down. He lost his balance, and he kind of fell forward and couldn't get back. And that's going to be an automatic first down for the Panthers out to the 36-yard line. So now first down and 10. Again, just over 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter on a humid Friday night, but a great night for high school football as always between these two longtime rivals in adjoining counties of Macon and Swain, and the handoff comes right up the gut to the 40-yard line for a gain of almost about 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Panthers now.
I think that was Sitton just going straight ahead with a quarterback sneak. They got a good surge out of that, got 5 yards on the play. So,
and again, so many times it's all about the offensive line. Can they control that line of scrimmage? And if they can, your offense is going to work. So now the Panthers looking to the sideline with 6:18 to play, trying to get the play in and taking a lot of time here. Let's see what now they're ready to line up. 2nd down. Panthers need 5. Handoff comes to the left side and shooting through that gap over there for the first down. The Panthers pick it up. Over there on the tackle is going to be Cody Long, one of our leading tacklers as well.
So another first down, and the Panther offense starting to feel a little bit of tempo about them. We saw that in the second quarter. Maroon Devils got to stop here, but the offsides penalty gave them the first down, and now they're making the most of it.
And Toby, that fourth down gamble paid off, and sometimes you got to do that just to get a spark, just to get some momentum. This time got everybody lined up kind of a strong side left with their skill people. Now a counter comes back the other way to the right. Back to the 45, back to the 40, out across the 35. One of the better runs of the night for the Panthers offensively as they
flag
all
on the
untangle.
play. It's a penalty, and we got Connor Hyatt down.
And again, Jarrett Evans on the carry for the Panthers, and there is a Maroon Devil down. That's Connor Hyatt. He's going to get up, though. He's a pretty tough kid. Got a Franklin Panther down as well. So 2 players injured on the same play.
And I think the penalty was a hold or a block in the back on the Panthers, which will nullify that big run. Yeah. The flags are down here at about the 49-yard line on the Maroon Devil side. So Hyatt, he's going off with Kerry Powell.
And the Franklin Panther is going to be the running back who carried on that play. Jarrett Evans kind of holding his shoulder a little bit. So we hope both these guys are okay.
Now let's sort out the penalty situation and see what we've got.
It is going to be holding against the offense. And that's going to back it up back into Franklin Panther territory after a fabulous run. Had the football down inside the 40-yard line of Maroon Devil territory. Again, a good run by 33, Jarrett Evans, but that's going to back it up to the 41-yard line. First down now, Toby, at about 16 or so. Maybe 17.
That play is one they've run a bunch of times tonight and had moderate success with it, and that one squirted wide open. And may have been because of the block, we don't know, but they got some big yardage out of that, so I would expect to see them come back to that at some point, even in this drive.
So, again, when something works, you want to keep rolling with it. Panthers now first down and long. This time the pitch to the right side. Trying to get outside, but there to stop it is going to be Ian Brooks. He was right there almost with the toss.
And again, Ian doing a good job keeping that outside leverage and being able to just reach out and make the tackle as he tries to get around him for no gain.
One of the 14 seniors on this Maroon Devil team. As we mentioned, the Panthers with 10 seniors. Both teams with a good sophomore class, 14 sophomores on each roster. Getting some guys some experience here. 4:30 to play here in the third quarter. With a 20-0 Maroon Devil lead now as the Panthers get the play call in. They check their plays on their forearm, where they have those lined up. Sitting rolling to the left side. Pressure stepping back the other way. Now he's going to tuck it and run out to the 40, 45, and he's going to be knocked down at the 46-yard line. 2 or 3 guys coming up on the tackle, and one of those shaken up as he is still down on the play. Looks like a cramp. One of the Maroon Devil defenders down there with a cramp, and we know those hurt. And they're going to have a timeout on the field, and down there right now is Thomas Allen playing trainer. They're trying to help him work that cramp out along with Charlie Lambert.
That tells you how desperate and how bad those hurt if you're willing to let Charlie and Thomas play trainer for you.
Oh, here comes Coach Neil Blankenship and, of course, our certified athletic trainer, Kerry Powell. But, boy, those do hurt.
I still can't tell who it is that's down.
Yeah, I cannot see the number here. Even
Coach Blankenship is going to be pressed into duty here on the other leg. We laugh, but it's really not funny. If you've ever had cramps, you know exactly what we're talking about. Those are awful.
They hurt.
Yeah, they do. And you can't get rid of them. You just about be willing to let anybody try to do that.
Yeah, help me. He's like, yeah, somebody do something here.
And anybody who's ever had one rushes to the aid like Thomas and Charlie did.
They just wanted him to get relief as soon as possible. And I tell you, we've had, and it seems like every year the temperatures stay really warm. Almost for even the entire month of September, it's really warm.
Any more unseasonably warm we were talking about on the way over, figured we'll probably just go straight from summer to winter. It won't be a fall. Go straight from 75 and 80 today to 30 tomorrow type stuff.
I mean, most of the week it's been in the upper 80s just about every day, and I know that's these players who practice out there in that heat want some relief here real soon with some cooler weather here in the mountains.
Well, you can see on your screen, if you're following us on the network and the live stream, Coach Travis Brooks over there meeting with his linemen, talking to them. And, hats off to them, Gary. They've done a tremendous job tonight. Those guys don't get near enough recognition, but they have absolutely owned the line of scrimmage at times tonight. And that has been the difference in this football game, in my opinion.
And I believe that may be Jake Langston.
Well, Jake
or Connor McCoy. I think it's Jake. But
Jake's been everywhere tonight, so that would make sense. So they're the Maroon Devils are over there stretching out, getting some instruction again from the coaches and trying to stay loose. The Panthers doing the same thing. They're getting some offensive instruction on what's going on here and what they're going to do. Position-wise, they've broken it down. Line coaches are talking to linemen, and the back coaches are talking to the backs, and so forth and so on. And
now I'm thinking that might be Connor McCoy. I know there's a 7 on one side of his jersey. So it's either Connor. So it is 47. It is Jake Langston. And he's a physical player anyway, 6'2", senior.
And we should reiterate for folks at home, because we don't like to dwell on injuries anyway, but that one looks like a cramp injury, as we've alluded to throughout that. While they hurt like the Dickens, it's nothing serious, and he'll be able to return once those calf muscles, hamstring muscles loosen up a little bit and stop grabbing. And but in the meantime, it takes a little while to get them to relax, and that's what they're trying to do now. Coach Blankenship having a nice conversation with Coach Brooks, standing over him. And they're checking on him. But
he says, Coach, we're doing all we can. and Coach, as you know, and I know it's hard to tell players, is now finally Jake gets up and he's probably limp off. He's still not exactly in cramp. But you can't hydrate on game day. With this kind of weather, you got to hydrate basically all week.
Yeah, that starts a week early.
You can't, but
before. Today, it doesn't work that way.
No, and sometimes even when you hydrate the best you can, I mean, his cramps still pop up the best you can do sometimes. So I know colleges, they try to keep their players or want to keep their players in a good hydrate, especially it's not been the first month of the season as it always is. All right, I think we're ready to go. We are going 58 to play third quarter. Now we're lined up, sitting. 3rd down and 11. Back in the shotgun. Here comes pressure. Throws right side. And going to pick off over there by Ian Brooks, but they said his knee down.
No, complete that it hit him. But boy, that screen, there's a lot of pressure coming.
Yeah. Sitting really had no time to really set up the play the way he wanted to on that screenplay, and Ian Brooks was all over it. He read that one perfectly. And now the Panthers are going to be punting. Bryce Sane is going to be back to return with 3:49 to play in the third quarter here at the pit.
Oddly enough, in the first half, both teams punted one time each.
Wow. Nice punt. Bryce is going to take it at the 22, out to the 25. Reverses field, runs into some traffic, now weaves his way through and gets out across the 30. A nice return with 3:38 to play here in the third quarter. Remember, no varsity football next Friday. The JVs are going to be hosting Rosman on Thursday. And then our next game will be 2 weeks from tonight at home with the Cherokee Braves.
And that will be Hall of Fame night. So the Hall of Fame inductions will be on that Thursday. And that class that you alluded to in the pregame will be recognized at halftime of the Cherokee football game. It will also be the conference opener for the Maroon Devils.
Yes, indeed. And here we go, 1st down and 10. Damian Lossy is going to run to the right side. He faked it, and he has some room out there, 45-50, inside the 50-yard line. And again, just a very good play call and a very good fake over there by Damian Lossy to draw some of those linemen in.
That was the traditional veer off the right side with the fullback dive. And fullback in that case, as we saw last week when things start to wear down a little bit, the Taylor boys come in.
Yep.
And I think that was Carson who was in the game this time. We'll check the number for you as they break huddle here.
And right now is Carson, number 32.
Yeah.
He wears 32, Colby with 34.
And Connor Hyatt back in the ball game. Good to see.
Yeah, he's okay, ready to go. And here comes Damian again, still with the football inside the 45-yard line. And
they had not blown it dead, so it's going to be that final push by Damian as he spun loose.
Good extra effort.
And he's close to first down into Panther territory here with this one.
Going to spot it at the 37-yard line with 2:41 to go in the third quarter, and it is enough for a first down, says head referee Dennis Setzer.
I like it in the second half when they bring the Taylor boys in. They run hard.
Physical.
And they're fresh.
Yeah.
And you catch them with a defense that's a little bit wore down, and it's just big gains after big gains that we saw like last week against Inca.
Yeah, when you've got, again, the size. Here comes Lossy, tosses at the last second, and around the left side, 25-20, down inside the 15-yard line. Again, good run after the toss, and this time, again, it is going to be Carson Taylor. And he's a big kid, Toby, 5'11", 195.
He is a big kid, but he's got good hands, good soft hands. Made a good play that time, turned upfield, got what he got. And there's nothing greedy about it, just I'm going to get what I get.
Carson Taylor, the sophomore, and Colby, the senior. The Taylor brothers. Carson, 5'11", 195. Colby, 5'10", 190, so they're very similar in size. Split backs behind Damian again, this time inside the BC Outdoors red zone at the 15-yard line. Handoff this time to the left side and all the way down to the 5. Still getting pushed forward down near the 3.
Bryce.
Wow.
One last effort trying to get in there.
just didn't want to stop.
Thomas Allen helped tackle him forward.
So
let's go this way.
Yeah, let me give you a little push here. And it's good to see you. Thomas Allen in there. He's been knocked around some tonight. We hope Jake Langston will be back. We hope he's okay after that cramp.
Maroon Devils taking some time on this one as the play clock at 15 when they break it. And this drive, other than maybe one play, has been in the traditional veer set.
First down and goal down at the 3-yard line. Damian turns and hands off to Mr. Taylor, and is he in? He's close.
He is. Touchdown on this side over here.
Carson Taylor with a TD from 3 yards out with 1:04 to play here in quarter number 3. So as you mentioned, Toby, the big backs and just fresh legs coming in when the defense is worn down a little bit anyway really can have an impact.
Well, he and his brother Colby both, I think, they're very much alike. Yeah. I hate to say that about two brothers, but it's almost like you're getting the same guy in two different packages there. And
here's the kick by Gavin Lanning, and it's going to be good. Just snuck inside the right upright with 1:04 to play. Our score here from Franklin High School, 27-0. Maroon Devils in the lead. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
Pollock on the return out across the 25 to near the 30-yard line for the Franklin Panthers. And that's where they'll take over first down and 10 here late in the third quarter. Under a minute to play now. And, Toby, you've got to think the Panthers are going to have to start pulling out some stops here down 27-0 late in the third.
Well, that's that. As I said early on, for both of these teams is the big fear, falling behind and having to go outside of what you do best to try to get yourself back into a ball game. And I think Franklin's in that zone right now. They've got to get some scores, so they may have to step outside of what they're comfortable doing with the straight ahead attack and try to get some quick scores here.
First down and 10 now, Panthers. Line of scrimmage at the 29. Got a man in motion as they turn and hand off. This time right between the B and C gap for a gain out to the 33-yard line. 4-yard pickup. Second down and 6 on the way. With probably second down and 7, we'll call it. Time for one more play here in quarter number 3.
The usual suspects on that one. It was McCoy and Kirkland.
Defense doing a great job.
Defensive line-wise.
Noah Sitton calling the play. Checks with his tailback deep in the backfield, and he gets the football as he tries to run to the right side, but just can't find much of a gap over there. Leading the charge again, Nick Millsaps. We got Ian Brooks in there. We've got, a bunch of guys. Charlie Lambert. So many guys getting to the football tonight, along with Colby Kirkland.
Yeah, and again, just an excellent job by Ian on this edge, keeping the edge, keeping it clean, making sure shoulders to the sideline, and cuts everything back right to his pursuit.
And that's the end of the third quarter here from the pit at Franklin High School. 27-0. Maroon Devils in the lead. We'll be back with those final 12 minutes in the fourth quarter after this 1-minute break here on the Maroon Devils Network.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
And fans, if you don't believe tradition lives here, look at 3 Smoky Mountain Conference teams in this week's Associated Press Top 10 high school football poll. 3 in the top 10. This time, Noah Sitton tries to throw it out here to the left flat. It's going to be incomplete thanks to big pressure right up the gut by Cody Long.
Yeah, they had a kind of a rub route going on the outside right there. They'd run that play earlier and got success out of it. This time going with a different target, and there's just too much pressure for Sitton to get himself squared up and be able to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, Cody Long and Thomas Allen, good pressure. As the Panthers will punt it away. Back deep is going to be Bryce Sane here early in the fourth quarter. Good rush. End-over-end punt. Bryce is going to take it on the run at the 39, out to the 40, 45. Just across midfield as he gets a good return. And again, very quick feet, and those feet just never stop moving.
And Bryce did a good job just putting his head down and diving forward for extra yardage there to get to midfield.
Good blocking out there with Lucas Brown and Gage Jones leading the way. It's going to be right on the 50-yard line, if you will.
Sane out of the game now, so it'll be Taylor and company in the backfield.
Sounds like a law firm.
It does, doesn't it?
We hope we don't need one. First down and 10. And the Taylor brothers split backs. This time it's going to be number 32, and that's Carson Taylor, but only for a yard or so as the Panther defensive front really cut off all the gaps.
Well, I think – go ahead, Gary. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say now coming in to help out on the offensive front is going to be – it looks like Michael Winchester giving one of the guys a break. And it's good to keep those guys fresh too, isn't it?
Absolutely. It develops depth by being able to do that and get reps with that first unit out there. Maroon Devils, I think, are going to be content to keep this ball on the ground, milk the play clock down, and walk away from here with a big win.
You're right. Michael Winchester is going to be coming in. He's going to be the center, actually. Snapping the ball to Damian Lossey. Damian at the line of scrimmage now, calling the play. Now backs up.
We're going to have to take a timeout. The play clock was getting down, and I think they saw something they wanted to change out of and couldn't do it. Now they got the delay game first.
Uh-oh. going to have to.
Instead of the timeout, so Swain obviously will not take the timeout if they've got the delay of game.
That'll back us up now to the 46-yard line, second down and about 14. Damian looks to the sideline, and joining him in there is Donovan Groenwald. New receiver into the ball game. Number 6 splits out there with number 7, Robert Green, giving Connor Hyde a little bit of a break. Connor plays both ways, of course. And again, the Carson brothers, or the Taylor brothers, rather, in the backfield this time. It's going to be 34, and that's Colby. Colby Taylor is going to be stuck in the backfield and just didn't have any room. Bottom line,
No.
I mean, when there's no room, there's no room.
That was a slow developing play from the start, and the Panthers reacted well to it, so they snuffed that out quickly.
And now heading for the sideline is going to be Colby. Now he's going to get the play, I believe, a play call and check right back in. Let's see, as they're still deciding what play to call. And the play clock already under 10 seconds.
I think they're going to take a timeout this go around and talk it over.
Trying to
That's
figure
the
out.
thought.
Yeah.
There it is.
So there is a timeout call by the Maroon Devils with 10:02 to play and a 27-0 lead here. We'll break down the line, give WBHN time for this 1-minute break here on the Maroon Devils Network.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Friday night, Maroon Devil football, 10:02 to play here in the final quarter at the pit at Franklin High School. Toss comes deep in the backfield. This time the tailback runs to the right side for positive yards, and that's Colby Taylor up near the 45-yard line. The Panthers coming up with a good gang tackling over there as well. Looks like Noah Sitton and others coming up with the hit for the Panther defense.
Maroon Devils will be forced to punt here for the second time tonight. Lossie will do the honors. First one was a short one that ended up going out of bounds in the first half. So Damian will look to get a little more height and distance on this one.
Back deep to return is going to be Keegan Pollock for the Franklin Panthers. Also Bryce Sane back there is kind of the up safety man for the Maroon Devils. He gets a good block. Nice punt. Pollock is going to take it on a fair catch back inside the 15-yard line where the Panthers will have it 1st and 10 with 9:11 to play here in our final non-conference game, Toby, until late in the season when the Asheville Gladiators come into Swain County. But between now and then, a bunch of conference games.
Yeah, it should be interesting as things unfold in the Smoky Mountain Conference. But, you never know. People can say whatever they want to. People downstate like to point at it being a weak conference because the bottom's weak and all this stuff. I will dare any of them to come up here and play in it that want to do that because it is not easy.
Well, I tell you what, the top ain't weak.
No.
3 in the top 10, Murphy, Robbinsville, and Swain.
And but really, truly, I would suggest any of them who feel that way, come on up.
Yep.
We got a home and away for you.
Mountain football is tough at every level. This time, Sitton is going to run to the left side. A huge hole to run through out across the 25-yard line. He broke a tackle and picked up some big positive yards and a first down.
Yeah, that was a good run there by the Panthers. They got what they wanted on that side. And some nice blocks opened up a good seam for Sitton and a big gain. You know, he had probably their biggest gain in the first half on a run very similar to that.
Yes. You know, Sitton's a strong, stout quarterback, 5'11", 195 pounds, a very physical running quarterback. Clock running, 8:40 to play here. And the final quarter. First down and 10, Panthers.
Do you know when the Panthers open up their conference play?
I do not, but I would assume it's going to be very, very soon. 2 weeks.
Oh, flag on the play.
Uh-oh. Got a late penalty flag coming.
I don't know what happened there.
Looks like potentially, normally when the flag comes that late, it could be a late hit.
I think it's going to be on Swain. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably a personal foul or unsportsmanlike. Let's see. Again, coming in kind of late. Yeah, personal foul. And again, the coach will not be happy, Neil Blankenship.
No, that will draw his attention immediately. He's out on the field right now talking to the side judge, wanting to know who. Fans in the stands probably think he's arguing the call. He is not. He wants to know who committed that foul, and they will be coming out soon, and he will be talking to them.
Yes, and he did leave the game.
Depending upon what it was.
He did leave the game, and now coming in is going to be, let's see, Colby Kirkland already in there. But the defensive front.
Timeout, Swain.
Now we got a timeout, so I think Coach Blankenship's going to have a word of prayer.
Yeah, he's going to address it with everybody all at once right here and get that out of the way and make sure that none of that silliness happens again, whatever it was.
No question about it. And as we mentioned, Toby, a lot of activities coming up in the days ahead. JV football on Thursday hosting Rosman. Lady Devils volleyball coming up next week. Big one on the road Tuesday at Robbinsville. And then on Thursday, Rosman will be coming to Swain County for a home game. And then in soccer next week, kind of the same thing. Away on Monday as the Maroon Devils soccer team will travel to Mitchell. And that's a 5:30 game time, by the way. Then on Wednesday, the soccer team is going to be, no, check that. Let me back up. I told you totally wrong. I was reading the wrong dates. On Monday, the soccer team will be at Smoky Mountain, 6 o'clock game time. Then on Wednesday, soccer team hosting Brevard. So at Smoky on Monday, hosting Brevard on Wednesday.
And the home games on that will all be live on the Maroon Devils Network. So tune in if you can't make it out and catch it.
So now, teams are back on the field, 8:19 to play. I know it's been a long game here tonight. We still have a lot of time left as it's 9:30 on a Friday night. Noah sitting, lines him up, got a man in motion. Got two backs beside him. He fakes, he's going to tuck it and run all the way, and he got a couple of positive yards as Ian Brooks came up and tried to cut him back inside.
Looks like Charlie Lambert's cramping up now. So he knifed through there and cut that play back inside. And Lucas Brown, Johnny on the spot to help out. He's motioning him off. No, I got this.
And Noah Romero coming up on the tackle, and now he wants to stay in the game. So, well, he's going to have to leave, though, for one play. That's Charlie Lambert limping off with that cramp, but he's okay.
Yeah, he says, I'm good, Coach, as he limps over there.
What's even worse sometimes is if you're lying in bed and you get a cramp in your foot or your thigh. And
that's the worst.
Holy cow, you got to get up and walk it off.
That's the worst.
They are just miserable, whether you're playing football or you're just at home. Either way, they hurt, no matter what your age or your physical condition. Noah sitting back in the gun now for the Panthers, wanting to throw, rolling. Here comes pressure. They force the pressure out. Noah sitting, runs out across the 50-yard line. Good gain for the offense, and the defense coming up on the tackle. Leading the charge is Chase Hughes and company.
Donovan Grunwald and Thomas Allen, Ian Brooks, all the usual suspects. Those guys have played well tonight and done a good job with responsibilities. I think Coach White would have been proud to see the effort, everybody handling their responsibilities, doing what they're supposed to do. That's the way the defense is designed to work.
No doubt about it, especially run support from your linebackers and secondary folks. Third down, toss to the left side, and again, the running back kind of slipped out there on the grass. But coming up to finish off the play, Cody Long and company on the defense.
And Charlie Lambert. So he was fine. He wasn't fibbing.
But we have seen 3 or 4 times tonight some slippage out there. So maybe just a little bit of moisture on the grass. The field is in great shape. But a shower activity earlier this afternoon. Grass just a little bit wet. And now, of course, the dew is starting to settle in.
Yeah, that makes things a little slippery.
Oh, boy. Especially when you're trying to cut one way and it's a little slick. Maroon Devils showing blitz. Now they back off. Rolling right, sitting. Here comes pressure. Fires, overshoots his man over there in the flat on 4th down. So it's going to be Swain High football with 6:07 to play here in the 4th quarter and a 27-0 lead.
Maroon Devils will return the strategy of trying to milk the clock right here, though. They've got, looks like Brooks back in the game at one running back, and Colby Taylor coming in at the other side. Lossy back in with the play call. Yep. And we got shoe untied. Thomas Allen, he's going to tie his shoe. Oh, boy.
So, again, you're right. It's going to be Ian Brooks in the backfield this time. So it's Brooks and Taylor.
And we're good with the shoe.
Yes,
so
indeed.
We're good to go.
Ready to go. Of course, next year the Panthers are going to be coming back to Swain County as this rivalry continues. Receivers to each side in the split back veer. 5-man front for the Panthers. And running right up the A gap, and boy, there is nothing there. Panthers smell that one coming.
Brooks tackled immediately by the interior of the Panther line, who knifed through on that angle.
Yeah.
And that'll be Carson Taylor back in for Brooks. So the Taylor brothers in the backfield again. Maroon Devils 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage at the 48-yard line here on a Friday night.
The mindset of the offense has changed just a little bit here in the 4th quarter. It's more about milking that play clock, keeping the ball in safe distance instead of getting first down. So they just want the clock to run at this point.
This time the toss comes to the right side. It's going to be Carson Taylor as he cuts back inside, picks up about 4. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Maroon Machine now, 5:10 and counting.
And, Gary, we didn't notice it at the time, but it does look like for the Panthers that their leading running back, Seth Price, is over here in not street clothes, but his gear's off and his arm in a sling. So we hope he's all right. Moving forward for the Panthers, that's a tough loss for them because he was, as you said, their leading tackler and leading rusher.
I tell you, Seth Price, a great player. Had 197 yards rushing against Raven Gap last week. And, again, he's their leading tackler with 26 coming into this game. And we hope he's okay.
Yeah, they're going to need him moving forward.
Yeah.
As they start their stretch. And I believe they told you 2 weeks before they begin conference play. So
right.
Hopefully he'll be better by then. 4th and short right here. I'm not sure, but what the Maroon Devils may just go ahead and go for it.
At the 44-yard line, 4th down and about 1.5 yards. As Lossy looks to the sideline for the play call. And, again, letting the clock run as much as it will. But, again, yeah, we hope Seth Price is going to be okay. As looks like his left arm or shoulder is in a sling over here. But we hope he's going to be ready to go real soon. Don't want to see these kids getting hurt in any capacity. This time, handoff to the right side. It's going to be Carson Taylor again, and he's got the 1st down.
And that's a good 1st down because it keeps the ball at least for 4 more downs in Maroon Devil hands and the clock running all the way down on the play clock. So they should be able to milk another 2 or 3 minutes off of this clock.
No doubt, and the clock is definitely in the Maroon Devils' favor when you have a 27-0 lead here with 3.5 minutes to go. Receivers wide left and right. But I think most of the people in the pit here tonight know it's going to be a running play.
No secret there.
No secret there, is it? This time it's going to be the elder Taylor, Colby Taylor on the carry, number 34, the senior.
He got a good gain out of that, getting behind that offensive line, and they just pushed forward.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 4 with 3 minutes in counting. Again, no football next Friday. 2 weeks from tonight, Cherokee will be there on Hall of Fame night at Swain County Memorial Stadium. They have a new head coach, and they're trying to make some positive things happen. They've had a tough start to the season here in 2019. But sometimes all it takes is one game to get things turned around, get that momentum rolling in your favor as they're going to let the clock run down and call another timeout here. Maroon Devils probably don't. I think that's our last timeout.
And I'll be honest with you, Gary, the thing that could turn around Cherokee's season is a win over Swain.
Oh.
That always does the trick.
Oh, boy.
And
that rivalry is intense as well.
Absolutely. And one thing's for sure, in a couple of weeks when that Smoky Mountain Conference play begins, everybody's 0-0.
You said
there are no records that matter at that point. It's 0-0, and you dive into it. The volleyball proves that to you. There were 4 teams that entered the week, 3 of them 2-1 and 1 of them 4-0. So that tells you how strong the conference is and how balanced it is in so many different ways. Volleyball is the same.
It is.
And a crucial week for the Lady Devils coming up as they go to Robbinsville, who is the 4-0 team, and then Rosman, one of the other 2-1 teams. And it'll be a big week. And they'll end up having to do that without their leading hitter, Jenna Marr.
And that's really tough. So now the Maroon Devils, a new quarterback in, and that's Cameron Blankenship. And, yes, he is the son of head coach Neil Blankenship. As he hands off now with 2:20 and counting. And now he comes out of the game. And now Zach Stepp is in. I'm not sure. Actually,
Chris Singley checked in as well, too.
Yeah,
into the backfield. Cameron Blankenship runs all the way to the side to get the play call and then runs it back in. That's probably what you were seeing.
Yeah, I thought he was leaving the game. He just went over there to get the play and make sure everybody's on the same page. Under center now with under 2 minutes to go. Blankenship hands off. Again, a bunch of new faces in there.
That was Stepp, I believe, off the tackle or guard gap on a diagonal. He gained some yardage. That's going to be close to a first down, Gary.
Yeah, Zach Stepp, a sophomore, 6'1", 145-pounder. And it is going to be enough for a first down, which will allow the clock to run out.
That should pretty much do it, I believe.
Yeah. So right now, 1:15 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter.
From our vantage point here in the booth, we don't have a good look at the scoreboard. So sorry if we're not keeping you updated like we should. But
it is winding down to a close. Blankenship under center again. Hands off, and again, just a whole lot of bodies around the football here. There's a whole lot of new jerseys are in there around the football. And
Andrew
this time,
Chavez, I believe.
Yep, Andrew Chavez on the carry, a junior. One more play, and that's going to wrap it up here tonight as the clock is running with 40 seconds and counting.
Well, Gary, this is a huge win for the Maroon Devils. We'll touch on a little bit, I'm sure, in postgame, but a big win for the Maroon Devils to go 4-0. You and I were talking about it off the air before the game started, trying to remember. And 2012, I believe, was the last time we were undefeated 4-0 going into conference play. Probably 5-0 at that point because we probably had another non-conference game in 2012. And we remember that team going all the way to the state championship before losing Southwest Onslow.
That's the final play, guys. And talking about that, Toby, a big win as well because the Franklin Panthers in this rivalry had won 6 in a row.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to break that string. And I know it's a big chip off of the shoulder of the Maroon Devils. Certainly don't want to be that far down to anybody, especially an old rival like the Panthers. But, this series is, to me, is so good because the teams are so very similar in their approach to the game, how hard and they play, how hard-nosed they play, and how they get after each other. And when it's all said and done, usually both teams look at each other, wish each other luck, and go on. And so that's probably what's going to take place here as they go through the lines.
Yep. And fans, will come back to wrap it up on the postgame show after this 2-minute break. Stay with us. We'll continue on the Maroon Devils Network.
She increases the velocity. A third straight ace is the result. And now Swain has stretched their lead to 10 behind the senior, Kenzie Eagleman. We had her unofficially for 8 aces last Thursday, and she's working on that tonight with 3, make that 4 straight from the service line, and now it's to 11.
The Smoky Mountain Conference, one of North Carolina's oldest and most storied athletic conferences, producing champions on and off the playing field for decades. The Smoky Mountain Conference. Tradition lives here.
I'm Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please hit the notification bell down below so you can get a notification every time that we upload a video.
Fans, looking back, even though the first half, the stats were very close as far as total yardage goes, things really got a little more lopsided in the second half as we look at the post-game stats here. The Maroon Devils, 44 plays, 278 yards. Meanwhile, Franklin actually 6 more plays, 50 plays, but only 145 yards, Toby. So this second half, the Maroon Devils came out with that opening drive and I think really took control.
Well, I thought it was the key drive of the ball game, to be honest with you. They really sent a message with that first drive for the touchdown and the opening drive of the second half. And another great night offensively for Bryce Sane, 13 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow, look at that.
Averaging right at 9 yards a carry. Damian Lossy, 9 carries, 63 yards. He's averaging right at 7 per carry. Maroon Devils as a whole, 5.7 yards per carry, 235 yards rushing overall. But to me, another solid night offensively for the Maroon Devils, and Damian Lossy through the air, 2 of 3, and another touchdown pass hit Connor Hyde in stride down the sideline. Beautiful play there early on. I think it was our second touchdown of the night. First down, Swain 16, Franklin 11, and average per play, I don't know if we covered that or not, 6.3 for the Maroon Devils, 2.9 for the Panthers. All in all, a pretty dominating performance for the Maroon Devils tonight.
Oh, especially running the ball. 41 carries, 235 yards on the ground. Franklin 37 rushes, 98 yards on the ground. But just really solid football. And again, turnovers playing a key in this game. The Panthers with 3 turnovers. Maroon Devils didn't cough the football up at all.
No, and 2 of those were interceptions, well played by the Maroon Devils secondary to come up with those. But more importantly, the pass rush helped pay that off. They were really putting some pressure on Sitton all night long. Defensively, Ian Brooks with 12 tackles tonight to lead the Maroon Devils. He did an outstanding job. We mentioned his name and number time and time again. If he wasn't involved with the tackle, he was keeping that outside shoulder clean and pushing everything back to the inside for his teammates to come on and make those tackles. Thomas Allen, 8. Jake Langston, 8 as well. Cody Long was 6. All those names we called, time and time again throughout the night. Tremendous job on their part. And, realistically, if you can pitch a shutout in this series, you've done something. Either team, Franklin or Swain, if you pitch a shutout, you've really done something. So kudos to the Maroon Devils, Coach Blankenship and his staff for a job well done. Good win for them tonight.
Oh, no question. Fans, don't forget now as we say goodbye, no football for a couple of weeks. Next week is going to be an open date. Then we'll come back with Cherokee on Hall of Fame week at Swain County Memorial Stadium. Until then, thanks for listening and watching right here, and have a great weekend from your friends on the Maroon Devils Network.